Oh, Lord. Everything is political. Everything is political. This will not be a long live. Because what a lackluster ending. Like, what a lackluster ending. When I tell you Americans ruin everything, they ruin everything. What a lackluster ending. What a lackluster ending. So basically, Justine lost. And here's the thing. If Justine lost to Johnny and Gabby, I would be at ease. But the fact that Justine lost to Isaiah and Lucinda, I'm not at ease because they're not worthy competitors. I'm also not at ease because something feels off. And we talked about this. Something felt off for me about the entire season. Something feels very, very, very off. And I fear we won't get the reason why this feels off until Love Island screws over the right contestant or we get a producer on that show that goes rogue. Because something about this was so off that I'm sitting here like, this ain't making no sense. But I want to tell you this. Oh, because I'm going to talk for like 5 minutes and then I want to get into the comments because what is there to review? So I knew that Lucinda and Isaiah won this. And the reason why I knew, because like I said, everything is freaking political. Everything is freaking political. That's why I tell you guys all the time, your voting, the way you vote in elections just is not just affecting that election. It's affecting everything, even down to the media. Everything is affected by this. And I knew that Lucinda and Isaiah won when they were sitting, I think they were sitting on one of the benches. And Lucinda said this. She said, I think I'm going to win because of my genetics. Yeah, I got good genetics. I really think that that's why we're going to win because I got good genetics. And I was like, what an odd thing to say. Like, nothing about how you feel like you're going to win because you strategize very well or because when it counts, you can pull it out in the end. You are leaning on your inbred British genetics. Why would you say that? And why would they put that in there? I said, of everything that they talked about, that is the clip that you wanted to put in the show. And I'm telling you guys, it took me aback. I said, what an odd thing to say. And what an odd thing to put in the show. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, it's because she won it. She won it. That was a dog whistle. It was so clear. I said, that's why they did that. To let us know that this white woman with her superior genetics was able to beat the two-time champs that just so happens to be a Black woman. I was so like, I wanted to be wrong. But when I heard that dog whistle, I said, ain't no way. Ain't no way she beat Justine. So I fast forwarded to the end and I was like, oh, well, there it is. There it is. Lucinda's superior genetics aside, Ty and Justine played a terrible game. Justine, when you are ready to talk, when you can let me know what happened, DM me. Because Justine doesn't lose. Justine, especially at the end, she pulls it out. Their gameplay was so terrible that they almost gave Toby a heart attack. Ty has been strategic this entire time. To get to the end and not be strategic, it's either dumb or something happened. And these two have not played dumb. So to play dumb when it counts don't make sense to me, but it is what it is. But I am patiently waiting for the Love Island producer that goes rogue and tells us everything. Because this, right, like I have had so many suspicions about this show, but that little genetics dog whistle, I said, what in the Sydney Sweeney? What is going on? Child, everything is political. Everything is political. But here's the thing, Justine. I'm going to first talk to Justine and then I'm going to talk to the black girls that come on Love Island. I don't know what's going on with your team. I don't know what's going on with your agency. I got to be honest with you. You should have never been on this show. The work that you have put in, you should have been having offers from greater shows. I don't know what's going on, but you should have never been available to come to Love Island Games season 2. You need to be booked and busy. So I don't know what's happening there. Maybe you need a new agent. I don't know. But I've always felt that you and Johnny were far too superior for this show. Now I got why Johnny came back, because he needed he needed this win because he won last time, technically, if we're being honest, right? But we were all gagged. That's why a lot of people couldn't get on board with you being here, because we're just like, what the hell are you doing here? It's Justine. Like, what are you doing? If you're ever on Love Island Games again, it needs to be to host it. That needs to be it. Now I want to talk to every black girl that comes on Love Island or Love Island Games. Baby, you're on your own. At this point, you should know what this show is and what it's going to do to you. Whatever treatment you get, I hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth it. Now, I want to talk about Johnny, and then I'll hop into the comments. I hate doing a group project with Americans, because I know if I have to work with them, I'm going to fail. I have been cursed to be a part of the dumbest voting block in history. I do not understand why the man that actually made this damn show was not in the end. And I think it's because either two options. One, they rigged it, or two, the Karens, the Klan, and the Hitler Youth who were mad that Andrea and Josh were so dumb they lost it, hate voted for Toby and Sydney. That's the only conclusion I could come up with. But when it was announced that Johnny and Gabby were not going to go to the end, I felt so bad. I even felt really bad for Gabby, who I just never focused on in this show because she just gave me nothing. But I felt bad for her because she said, it's out of my hands. And how terrible is that? She played a great game, but the end result is out of her hands. Why in the hell does America get to snatch away an opportunity from worthy competitors because this dumb fan base new, not the old ones, this dumb new fan base is hate voting in people. This was Chris and Huda all over again. Sydney and Toby did not deserve to be in the end. They did not play the same game. They did not play a better game than Johnny. No shade, Gabby, you were tag along. But they didn't, them combined did not play the same game. Then maybe it wasn't a hate vote. Maybe people voted them in because they wanted to see Sydney take it. Y'all knew that Sydney was not going to win against those two teams. So why put them in? A lackluster ending. This show missed so many opportunities to be great. We should have had Toby and Tyreek duel, not Toby and Tyreek at the end. We should have had Johnny and Josh duel. Why did that happen? You rig everything else. Why couldn't you rig that? And then we get to the end, and Lucinda and Isaiah, the people that nobody was voting for, nobody was rooting for, nobody like, I want to see the end. I want to see the results for the NBA game because something tells me those two are not supposed to be in the end. But Lucinda and her superior British inbred genetics beat the GOAT. Everything is political. What do you guys have to say? What do you guys have to say? And let me know if you want to come up because this is going to be a quickie, guys. This might not even be an hour. I'll just share the link. If you want to come up here. You have to show your face if you are not a long time Star family member. If you are a long time, Star family member, you don't have to show your face. They wasted my time. Here's the thing. I thought it was the duel like this last year. I thought like they had I don't know. This was weird. Tia B said this was highly possible when Lucinda and Isaiah kept coasting through the challenges. Justine was working. Yeah. Natalie said, hey, Nikki, I tried the Chris Apple Olipop today. It's so good. Yes, it's good. Hey, Hannah. Hannah said that's why we kept saying they need to vote we said it. I will say I'm glad it's over too. When I get off of here, I'm going to watch Potomac and then it's going to be back to our norms. Here's the thing. I'm never watching Love Island, the regular Love Island again. I just could not stomach how that show had every opportunity to protect Shelly and Alandria, and they did not. Regardless of what the cast has done after the show, they had every opportunity to protect them, and they chose not to. Why? Because we are currently in a shift in America where it is now okay to harm Black people again, right? So it's just like, why do we need to protect them? Nothing's going to happen. We're not going to lose anything. And they didn't, right? Love Island Games was my show. I was just like, you know what? This is a much better version. I will give it to them. Granted, I should have never been watching this show because of, the morals that I set for myself. I won't be reviewing or watching any Love Island iterations. And here is why. That dog whistle hit me and my ancestors. When that girl made that comment about the genetics, listen, it's not even her making the genetics comments. That's Lucinda, right? We already know who she is, right? But when the show chose to put it in there, knowing that she was the winner, loud and clear for me. Loud and clear for me. And I think it's loud and clear for everybody who studied communications and everybody who studied media literacy. Loud and clear for me. I got it. I got it. Yeah, glad it's over though. So we can go back to our normally scheduled program. Housewives, Love at the Lockup, Mama Star and I are going to be reviewing The Bachelor. We're going back to the norms. Megan said, hey, y'all, I found out who won, so I'm glad I didn't watch the finale. I watched the best Love is Blind. Denver is tomorrow, too. Tomorrow night, same time. it might be 7 or 7:30, depending on what time I get done, the stuff that I have to do prior, but it will be in the evening. Tia Bia said, I knew how it would end once Toby and Sydney made it to the finale and Justine and Tyreek won the first challenge. Yeah, they cleared that easily. That's the thing. And I was always worried about that with Justine because Tyreek plays a very good mental game. Physically, he's not, we just never seen him, so we didn't know. I will say this was a mental game as well. So this was Tyreek's game to win. It was a mental game because the strategy that they should have had was all Justine did was make sure the white bag stayed out of their place, out of their goal, right? And Tyreek should have just gotten as many bags as he got because even if he was focusing on the bigger bags. But even if Zay and Lucinda had the bigger bags, they still had to deduct the points. So it either would have been equal or they still would have won. I would have had Tyreek focusing on as many bags as he could and Justine making sure the white bags stay in the yellow zone. They had no strategy. And I'm just like, when do y'all not have strategy? Tyreek has strategized this entire game. Something was up with that. Something was Roro. I need a picture, Roro. Roro, you look like a kid. I need Jack. Well, no, nobody can see it. I can see it. So just let me see you. The holistic doc said, y'all notice Kendall didn't vote for his bestie to win the money. Oh, I didn't know that. Hannah said Tyreek was just on the ground, just like Isaiah. None of the men were doing anything. These men are lame. That's the thing. It wasn't even interesting. Hell, put in Johnny and Josh. That would have been something. Whoever would have won, I would have been like, yeah, at least they gave us a show. At least they gave us a show. Tia B said Lucinda and Justine were pulling the bags while Isaiah and Tyreek were wrestling. That terrible strategy. TA said, what a bummer. I was rooting for Justine and Tyreek. Did not pull his weight in that last challenge. Justine tried her best, but it was too much. Yep. Jimmy Speak said, I'm disgusted. That blonde taking all her genetics. Yes, thank you. Everyone, myself included, talked about how evil Johnny, Ty, and Toby were. But damn, I take anyone over Lucinda. Yep. Thank you for that, because that was so weird. I was just like, why would y'all leave that in? Hey, Nasby. Nasby also said, I was so disappointed with the finale. I saw the spoilers before the episode didn't load it for me, and I'm glad because it saved me my time. Yeah, it wasn't a good episode. Takia said, I fast forward most of the episode. I'm glad I didn't waste my time. What a disappointment. Absolutely. Roro, I saw you. So if you want to come back, you can come up. You don't have to show your face. Nasby said, I only stayed up to pop into chat for a bit, but I'm so over tonight. I'll probably be knocked out by the time that he comes on. Oh, sorry about that. Hannah said, yeah, it was, everything was weird about this. It was lackluster. I'm so done with Love Island. Like, no other shows get me like this. It's just like, reality TV is supposed to be like escapism. I don't know what this is. Tia Bia said, Johnny and Josh would have gave us a show during this last duel. Yep. Especially with how, yep. It wasn't worth it. It was lackluster. The holistic doc said they just couldn't stand to have another black winner. Jimmy said her genetics match with Zay's black scent, Trump-loving self. Winning Justine's money just disgusts me. True. Tia B said it's still disappointing they said Johnny and Gabby didn't have the votes. I don't believe it. Either they got hate voted out or they did. Because listen, if Justine and Johnny went against each other, they would have just said it was a black win regardless. But it just sucks that this was the ending. Springtime said at least the majority Islanders wanted to give it to Isaiah, and Johnny still lost to Justine. Well, at least. Jimmy said, I don't care. Johnny should come back for season 3. That's how mad I am right now. Holistic Doc said, OMG, every time Zay put on his black scent, I got more annoyed. I will say I'm glad that he at least got something because I know he needed it. You know what I mean? Listen, 75K is probably what they're walking away with a person. In LA, it ain't much. But I know for Zay, that's something that could change his life. So happy for him. TA said Lucinda was a fake and phony from the beginning, pretending like she doubted herself in all the challenges and naive. She's been probably planning for months to compete. Her supple genetics, that's how I knew she won. And here's the thing. I told you guys, the white damsel in distress, it is a great strategy. It works for them every time. Every time. It was very disappointing. B. Nichols said, "I'm sick to my stomach, yo. We did not want her winning." She this is Trishelle and Traders all over again. Destiny's Child said, "Let's be real. This went to once Garby got out, then Josh and Andrea." Yep. That's not like I'm not even a fan of Josh and Andrea. They should have been in the finale. Like the only people, in my opinion, deserving of being in the finale that was in the finale was Justine and Tyreek. They played that game. They played that game. Isaiah and Lucinda, absolutely not. Now, maybe Isaiah, because Isaiah, you saw him strategizing. Lucinda did not deserve to be there. Sydney did not deserve to be there. Maybe Toby, I'm not sure, but it's just like, this is not what we wanted. What we really wanted, Andrea and Josh, Justine and Ty, and Gabby and Johnny. That would have been epic. Terrible ending. Just disappointed. Same. Alexis said, "Let's go look at cute Nickelandria content from the past week to make myself feel better." Love Island is going out sad. Jimmy said, "I hate that they had the fans voting on likability." Thank you. That's not what this is. This is not like, that's the thing. They keep on voting on likability, and that is the problem. I don't like Johnny. He ate this show up. He should have been in the end. He should have been in the end. And then to ask them why they want this win when it doesn't count. They should have asked them why they want to win before America voted. Johnny said, "I got a daughter back home. I need this for my baby." I think that would have helped him in the votes. And I'm just like, stop letting America vote. Love Island would be such a great show if they stop allowing this demonic community to keep on voting. They're ruining the show. Oh my gosh. Y'all stop making America producers. Please. Jimmy said, "I hate that they had, on likability." Smitty said, "Hey, Nikki and Star fam, it's giving rigged." The whole game is. Tia B said, "Thank goodness for the fast forward button. Love Island games wasted our time tonight. I believe Johnny would have won against it." Absolutely. I see, this is the thing. The final three that I would have wanted, I honestly think that Johnny, based on stamina, would have brought it home. But I think if Justine and Tyreek actually used their mental, they could have got it. I don't know what happened there. I hope he is. He needs to be. John Noel said, "All that power squad is just to get beat by Zay. Justine deserved better." Absolutely. Roro, are you ready? Come on up. Hey, Roro.
Wait. Before we start, how old do you think I am?
No.
You said I look like a kid.
No. I didn't know when you did like this, and all I saw was your teeth. No, you remember last time some kids came on here and was saying like crazy stuff. So yes, I was just trying to make sure it was no children. So thank you.
No. I'm 20. I'm 20 years old.
Okay, you're grown, good and grown.
Yeah.
Thank you
I
for
can't
being here.
lie.
The floor is yours.
Yeah. You know, it's 3:55 in London at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Let me just say, I think everyone's thinking this. Lucinda and Isaiah did not deserve to win the money. Point blank, period. I don't care what anyone has to say. But let me tell you, I knew Lucinda was playing that role good. Let me tell you that. Yeah? She had these other boys with this whole attitude. I could see right through her. I could see right through her. And as well, I'm not going to forget how she acted on Love Island Australia, because basically all of when people are trying to defend her about she wasn't doing any like microaggressions against Garby, I think people are forgetting, if you haven't watched, apparently in Love Island Australia, when she's coupled up with her guy at the time, basically she apparently was doing microaggressions to a black guy who was the only black person in Love Island Australia, and it's just very disappointing to see that. Very disappointing. But yeah, I feel like Love Island games could have been like way better. I feel like they should have had more mental games as well than just physical. Because I feel like even with the games, it wasn't even like proper games. It was just like silly. Like this last challenge was just so silly. It was just so silly,
Yeah.
so silly, so silly.
I feel
And I
like
thought Garby should have definitely been in the final.
There's two
Definitely.
people who should have been in that final besides Lucinda and Zay. And I also think that the challenges they here's the thing. Their best challenge that they had was the one they had two for me, in my opinion, was the one where they had to keep the circle
Yeah,
steady.
yeah.
I thought
Mhm.
that was so smart and fair, in my opinion. Another fair game was the Vegas game that they had. That takes skill. It takes everything
And
in
and another reason why I feel like the Vegas game was good is because they couldn't rely on their alliance thing. They couldn't.
yes,
Even especially with
yes,
Tyreek, he couldn't rely on the alliance thing because he was his alliance with both of the guys that he had to vote on.
yes.
So
You
that's why it was a good game as well.
they just had to be good, and I think that is what that's why everybody really went up for the Vegas game. I don't think that America should have been the final vote for it should have been a duel. You have one of the best duel players in the game and you don't have him duel for his spot. It doesn't
That's
make
what I
any
don't get. Listen, I don't like Johnny, yeah. Although I wouldn't have voted for him, I would have loved to see him in the final because guess what? It was boring. It was lackluster. We know that Johnny is the TV villain. It will bring entertainment, and we know that he would have took the money if
Yep.
he had the envelope. We know
Thank
that he would have
you.
took the money, and it would have been just so good to watch that. Like just watching this is lackluster. And I know Lucinda's got money. Apparently, her ex was a billionaire, so I know she's already got money, so she don't need that money. Let me tell you that she doesn't need the money. Johnny, he needs to pay child support, so he
Yeah,
needs
he got a
he needed
daughter.
that money.
He needed that, and he played the game like he needed it. And I was just like, why does America get to snatch that from him? And I felt so bad with Gab because she said it's out of my hands. How unfair for it to play a near perfect game and it gets snatched away on a popularity contest.
I know, and the fact that it's only America is just really unfair. Like you're bringing people internationally, so it would only make sense for you to do an international vote.
Now, I have always said that from the beginning when Ariana said in America is voting, I said, well, that's not fair. Then you need to
Mm.
where every person is from, they need to vote as well. Malta should have been able to vote. With the UK should have been able to vote. Why are we only allowing America to vote? Like it's unfair because Americans are not going to vote the same way as the people from other countries would. So we should
Yeah.
if you're going to do that, let everybody in the votes. Open it up to everyone, and then we can see how this goes. And I think they don't want to open it up because they have people that they want to win. And if you open it up, it changes the end for you. And I think another thing that was so lackluster was this alliance was allowed to control the game, so they controlled the finale. And then at one point you let America in to switch it up. What was that? They should have never been
Yeah.
able to control the game like that. Like it was just
Yeah, because it just takes away the whole point of Love Island games. Because with this whole alliance thing, they can just use it for the next couple of seasons. That they've literally just took away what the game actually is. So it's
that
not going to be. They need to change it up somehow because I don't like the whole like alliance thing. There needs to be more games like Vegas that will actually test people's loyalty and stuff like that because alliances have to be broken
because
those
it's
ways.
not Love Island games then. It's not Love Island games. And this is
It's
the
not.
thing. They did not have America in the voting last time. They added America in the voting this time, and we get this lackluster ending. The same thing happened with regular Love Island. It's just like if America voted in the last Love Island and your freaking winners of Love Island not only are not together, nobody is checking for them. They're checking for the second place winners. The second place winners are so freaking famous, people don't even associate them with that show anymore. Because if
Mm.
America wasn't voting and it was left up to the people in the house who was with those people, it would have been them. or it would have been Shelly and Ace. But because you let America in, and America, especially at this time that we're in, is not in their right mind, they voted in the worst couple that could win it. And now nobody's checking for your couple that won. Now you let America in. Love Island Games didn't have it before. It was all strategy. It was all grit. And it seemed fair. Now you let America in. They take away one of your strongest and most interesting players, somebody who made this season worth watching and gave us somebody who whined the entire show, and somebody who we're going to forget about. They're going to forget about Isaiah. They're going to forget about Lucinda. And those are your winners? Like, what are y'all doing?
And none of them are going to stay together. Let's be totally honest. When I'm seeing these edits and all that, bro, none of them are going to stay together. Long distance relationships do not work. I can
No.
tell you that for a fact, they do not work. None of these couples are going to stay together. Although I like Justine and Tyree, they're not staying together. Like, come on, let's be totally real.
Staying together. But it's just like, from a show standpoint, you want your winners to be people the audience wants to continue to follow. Who the hell following Isaiah and Lucinda? Justine and Tyreek and their toxic, messy self. That's all everybody talks about. It's just like, what are y'all doing? Y'all taking your own show. This was such a lackluster ending.
Oh yeah, I said the other day. Speaking about Tyreek, I said it the other day in the comments. I found out this week that Tyreek is my second cousin. Basically, because my mom, yeah, no, basically, my mom doesn't watch the show yet, so I was just showing like a clip of Love Island Games, and I said, "Oh, look at this game, mom," and then she's like, "Is that Tyreek?" And I said, "Oh, do you know him?" And then because basically his last name is my mum's family's name, Hyatt, because
oh my gosh,
because my mum's cousin is his dad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so with
family. Oh my God. Well, tell your cousin that we were rooting for him and they rigged that game. They stole that win from him. Let him know.
I know he's probably pissed. He is probably pissed.
Oh,
But I feel like a big like issue with it is the love part. I feel like it should be based off a competition. Because guess what? If Josh and Justine stayed together, they would have won. But because of this whole love thing with Andrea, I wanted to stay with her. Now look what happened to them.
Yep. Yep.
Now look what happened to them.
They messed it up. It was just like, you want people to want to continue to engage with your show offline. Wow.
Like nobody cares about the love part. This is games, not the love. Like all this, like, oh, I'm here for the love. Oh, let's share the money. You should have took the money, man. I think you should have took the money. Although I don't like, his political views and all that, but he should have took the money. Like, make it interesting.
If Isaiah would have switched it up and said, if Isaiah would have switched it up and been like, well, I played the really good game. Lucinda played the really good game, but I need this money, and kept it. That would have been a gaggery. But now he's like, oh, I'm here.
And guess what? People would have actually hated him. I wouldn't hate that. I would actually respect it. I would actually respect it. Do you understand? Because that is a game. You understand? It's just games. It's not games that actually playing the game. It's games, as in Tyree said, mental minds.
Yes.
Manipulating people.
He was so close. Your cousin was so close. We were rooting for you, Ty. We were all rooting for you. But let him know he played the good game. He played a good game. And we hope that him and Justine do work out. Because listen, at least work out to get to your Nicolandria. Like the audience is there. Give us some content. Anyway, final words, Roro.
Yeah, stay blessed, everyone. And yeah, we cannot have this happen again next game, because I love games. I wish Love Island could actually just take out the love part, because everyone's here for the clout and opportunities and all that. So let it just be a games thing, to be honest. But yeah, stay blessed, everyone. I love you, Nikki. And keep doing you. Peace. Bye bye.
Get some rest. Thank you for
saying
that.
I will. Bye.
Night. Oh, I love Roro. That is so sweet. 4 a.m. to spend time with us. Thank you so much. A shout out to everybody who joins me from all across the globe. I really do appreciate it. That's Ty's cousin. Ain't that something? And you never know who's in here, child. You never know. Let me get some more comments. Josie says superior genetics, weird. She got to the end. Nobody saw her as a competitor. She slithered her way to the top like the snake she is. And the only reason why she won is because Justine and Ty, I don't know what they were doing. That game was theirs to win. And Simone said Ty was on the ground fighting for his life. Justine did all the work. Toby was like, Ty, leave the bag. Go get something else. But he just stuck on those bags for some reason. Hannah said even the Islanders didn't vote Lucinda in her good genes. Ciao. Janelle said, hey, Star Fam and Nikki, I already knew they were going to win. These shows are sick of us winning these shows. Yep. And they're sending a message. M said they need to do something different next time. Season 1 is still superior. Absolutely. Season 1 is superior because America couldn't interfere. And now that you guys mention it, I think I am starting to believe that they did not want a black winner. Because had America not interfered in these votes, a black person would have won this show. You guys are freaking right. That's why they opened up the votes to America, to make sure a black person wouldn't win this. I still want to see the results of that NBA game because no way Lucinda and Isaiah beat everybody. No way. No way. But yeah, they wanted to make sure a black couple didn't win and that a white couple with superior genetics beat the blacks. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? It definitely was given at Alexis. I was like, ah. And Simone said, yes, Nikki said she said the genetics comments. And I was like, what in the British? It was so odd. I was like, why would y'all put that in? Unless she won. Unless she won. Oh, absolutely. She sure was. Mel Ron said, OMG, I can't believe they won. I'm glad I watched your review and not the show. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you all for supporting me. Oh, everything is a political. It's all going to look like, wait till the award shows. Wait to award season. My God, today. It's about to get scary. Just wait. But the pendulum will swing back, guys, and all will be revealed. Dreadful Ruby said this show should be scrapped. It just doesn't work. There isn't enough love or strategy. It's lackluster all around. Then the mixing of voting and games. I say join International All-Stars and said, listen, Love Island Games has a great concept. They screwed the pooch with allowing America to vote because it was two couples who was undeserving to be in the end. And you only root for one couple. But what is that? What is that? I would have loved to see Josh, the men, Josh and Johnny in the end. Like, how do we not see those two duel? Those two who really want it, how do we not see them duel? What a waste of talent. If I was a producer, I would never have wasted that talent. I wouldn't, because it was a dog whistle. It pissed you off because it was supposed to. It was a dog whistle. Katie said they wanted a Mayo winner since they started to get the new audience. This will be the trend. Yep, we will not. Everything is political. You did. You did. And I should have listened. Hey, Callie C, thank you for being here. Yeah, that's what it was, because Johnny would have won, guys. That last challenge, Johnny would have won it. And I love Justine, but Tariq was not beating Johnny. Johnny would have just been, him or Josh would have had them bags back and forth. Back and forth. Yes, guys, please make sure you like the video. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, we never counted the bags. Like, what is going on? But I love Justine. Even with the game being rigged, her and Ty still did not play an impressive game from what I saw. You guys, you did. I got to give you that, Hannah. Y'all were saying that. Y'all were saying that. Yeah, why? I didn't see him either. I was looking for him. Yeah, I was just like, if that's how it's going to go, if America is voting in these things, I'm out. I'm out because I know that especially the season that we're in, the season of the troll that we're in, I know that America is always going to rig the game for white people. And I'm just out. I just do not feel like it. It was hers to win. It was hers to win. But see, this is the thing. I love Justine. I got to give it to my girl. She should not have been there. She should not have been on this show. She should not have came back to this show. Not as a contestant. Mosul writes now, if Justine comes back as a host of the show, it's because something went down. Mosul writes said, I swear all the reality shows have been piss poor this year since yeah, because that guys, that's what it is. We are seeing now, and everybody's been talking about it. Like right now, we are in a certain sect of white America's death rattle, right? We are living in the time of the people who wants America to regress, and they're grasping at straws. So that's why they're pushing for Trump. Like for me, when he won, I was absolutely disappointed, but I was just like, if they voted this man in, they are hella desperate. And that just means they ain't got the numbers or the powers that they thought they had. That just means that time is up. And until they get their full reckoning, everything's going to look like that. TV's going to look like that. You see now, all the TV shows are white people. All like in my industry, everything that's being cast, white. They're trying to make America go back again. Like they want America before Jim Crow. They are really fighting for that. Their problem is that is not America. So you have a majority of people who do not look like you, and you are now the minority, and you're trying to erase all of those people. It's impossible to do. The issue is that we're having why it's taking so long for people to fight back. It's because the community that has notoriously fought against the oppressor said, not anymore. I'm not going to shed any more blood or lose any more of my people for a fight that is for all of us. So Black Americans are resting. That doesn't mean we're not in the fight. We are working together as a community. But now we have to see other communities step in. Y'all got to lose some soldiers. Sorry. Y'all got to shed some blood. Sorry. This is the price you have to pay in war. My people will come to battle when everybody else is on the front lines. But until then, those communities got to get picked off until they get tired of being bullied. And then they fight back. And that's when the shift is going to happen. But for right now, we're living in all this craziness. We're living in all of this craziness until those communities who never thought they had the power, who have always been afraid to fight, until they clock in, it's going to get worse. But when they clock in, let's go. But until then, not just the Black American community and the gay community have lost enough soldiers. They've shed enough blood. They can rest. They can rest. Everybody else, clock in. But I said all that to say that's what it's all going to look like. Everything is going to be erased. We have a huge controversy right here in LA, where this new restaurant called the Great White was seating Asian people in like the back of the restaurant in the corners. They didn't want them seated in the front. And this influencer, she did a video about it, and she was just like, they are literally sitting all the Asian people together in this corner. What is this? And she said it as like a joke, and she was just like, am I tripping? Like, what is going on? She was like, because every Asian person that walked in this restaurant, they put them in this corner. So she put up the video, and then there were other Asian people who were just like, that happened to me. So they all started putting two and two together. Then you go to the Yelp reviews, and Asian people are in the Yelp reviews and being like, they keep on putting us in the back of the restaurant. What is going on. And then you have people who have worked there who are just like, oh yeah, this is what they do. So like this is all happening, but those communities will continue to be picked on and pushed aside until they speak up, because this change is for everybody. It's not one community leading this. Everybody has to do it. But until then, the majority will be pushed out and removed from things. And that is what's happening. All of the game shows are going to look like this. All the reality TV shows are going to look like this. All of your TV shows are going to look like this. All of your news stations are going to look like this until you, the consumer, fight back. Until you, the consumer, say, absolutely not. I'm watching this show. My view matters. My subscription matters. Until you fight back, this is what they'll do. This is what they'll do, because this show knew they could not win it. The people who they wanted to win it could not do it without America. There was no way. Johnny would have ate that. Johnny would have ate that. E for Empathy said, even Reddit is saying this is political and based on this country and where it's headed. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't. I was just like, oh, Justine is winning this. And then we got that genetics line from Lucinda. And I said, oh, well, there it is. Tammy Talk said, I didn't even bother watching. It was terrible. It wasn't like, aside from them winning, it just wasn't a good ending. Not a good ending. It just wasn't a good episode. I was just like, the episode is an hour and 15 minutes. I was expecting at least almost 2 hours. Like, what is happening? It just wasn't. It was a terrible episode. And the sad part is nothing that we have watched since the Vegas episode topped it. So why in the hell is the Vegas episode the best? They did a terrible job. Josie said, I think I might be done with Love Island franchise. It has been, yeah, it is. It's just not like they are forgetting what reality TV is supposed to be. It's supposed to be so interesting that we want to come back. Like my thing is, don't feel like this because the person I wanted to win didn't win. When they said Johnny wasn't going, I don't like Johnny as a person or a competitor. But I have to be honest, he ran this game like the Navy. He should have been there. I was just like, hey, I'm going to cheat him out of this. Are you kidding me? He made your show and y'all snatched the win from him again? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Stella said, I'm so irritated. It should have been Justine that won. Yep. Ice Macchiato said the ending was so bad. I'll never watch it. Yeah, it just left a poor taste in my mouth. It left a poor taste in my mouth in that genetics line. I'm like, why the hell would you keep that in there? And then she wins. The white woman with the superior genetics beat the black girl that everybody was rooting for. They're not slick. They're not slick. And it is not crazy to think that when you have American voters calling Charlie Kirk the second coming of Christ, when you have a white supremacist podcaster lying in state in the capital of the United States of America. They did not want a black person to win. The holistic doc said, I don't know what happened. Really? Josie said the vote was just the producer's way of getting, yeah, it absolutely was. Oh, so thank you for saying this, because I was like, what are they talking about? So there was a part where Islanders had to stand behind the person they wanted to take the money. Oh, I didn't see that. I fast forwarded. I did not see that. Oh. But you know what? Listen, Isaiah, he did what he thought was right, but I wouldn't have gave her a dime. Janelle said, hey, Star Fam and Nikki, I already knew they were going to win. These shows are sick of us winning. True. Destiny Child said Ty focused too much on fighting Isaiah. He did. Even Toby was telling him to get up. Toby was like, move the bags. That's all he had to do. Here's the thing. Tyreek would have won if he would have just kept on moving the bags because Isaiah got gassed early. He got gassed early. So all Tyreek had to do was take all them bags and hold them. That's all he had to do while Justine and Lucinda fought to keep the white bags where they were at. He was such a good strategist up until this moment. He did. He did. They weren't, and that was so weird to me because they were on the same page the entire time. Dress for Ruby said that they were very strategic in the first duel, so I just don't understand how they weren't in the second. That's weird. M said Tyreek carried in that puzzle duel, but the second one was terrible. They both did awful. Justine was doing all the work while he was fighting over one bag. Yep, he was screaming at him. He was screaming at him. Ephraim said, "I can't fault Justine. Ty didn't carry his weight. He admitted it too." I think Ty will come back to defend his name. Brown Girl 44 said, "I kept saying that Ty wasn't battle tested. And that's the problem. You need to go in them duels. You need to go in them duels." Hannah said, "Tyreek was never good on the physical challenges." Sagal said, "Made no sense. They did so well in the first part. You thought they were going to win, but that was the misdirect." Alexa said, "And for them not to count the bags on the mat at the end on the kick." Because here's the thing, if the game went to the person who had the most bags, then what in the hell was the white bags for? So the white bags don't count now. Janelle said, "I'm starting to think they told Justine that if she comes back, they will." Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. Princess said, "I didn't feel that bad that Justine didn't win. She won twice already, and her giving Ty the benefit of the doubt, potentially sharing her money with him, would have pissed me off." M said, "I feel for Justine because she never had a real choice of who her partner was, and when she did choose him, it was either him or a mystery box." True. She should be on Traders. She absolutely should. Hey, Justine, thank you for being here. She needs to go on to greener pastures. That's what she needs to do. If she's not the host of Love Island Games, then she never needs to come back again. Dreadful Ruby said, "Yeah, why wasn't it shown fully on screen?" Yeah, it was so quick. Yep. It was so quick because we could count them bags up. That's why. Springtime said, "Justine does a lot of things, but it's been the same for years. I think she needs new representation." I think so too. She should be way further ahead than she is. And I don't think it's her. And I say that as someone who I would have been so farther in my career had I left the representation that I had early in my career a lot earlier. I had a terrible agent. They ruined so many great deals for me that would have changed my life. There's an ABC deal that I literally had to it took me years to forgive that former agent for how they messed up that opportunity for me, because my life would have been so different. And that is representation. The wrong representation can really destroy you as a talent. It really, really can. It really, that agent set me back 6 years in my career. Justine, get away from them. Get away from them. Tia Bia said, "A rogue cast or crew will verify everything the audience has been." I'm telling you, that's all we need. And we need them to talk before they settle. Kimberly said, "Justine needs a Landry's team." Absolutely. Hannah said she should be hosting game shows and not being a contestant. I agree. M said, "Justine deserves to be booked and busy like the season 6 girlie. She is the blueprint. I need her with the Gersh team immediately." Nicole said, "You are so right. Justine should have never come on the show. She left as a winner last season, and now she's leaving as a loser to Lucinda." I would be in shambles. Destiny Shaw said, "Johnny is never winning Love Island." Well, he's probably going to come back. Sydney said he's going to be on Love Island 80. Justine said, "All right, hey, Star Family, Nikki, hey. TA said, "Justine, it's time for her to move on from Love Island." I agree. We need her in bigger things. Absolutely. Absolutely. Justine said, "This is the bad place ending. What is going on?" Yep. Janelle said, "I can see Johnny on the challenge with Big Brother." Yeah, both of Justine and Johnny paid their dues to me. They proved who they are. They need to be on bigger shows. It was a terrible ending. Hannah said, "No Black woman should go on these shows moving forward." Absolutely. They kept on screaming at him. It was theirs to win. So even if the game was rigged, Justine and Ty helped the narrative that they had superior genetics. Jimmy Speaks said the balloons that didn't pop, the magnet that jumped on the roulette. Yep, yep. It's going to take one bold Love Island contestant or one rogue crew or cast member, crew or production team member. That's it. That's it. Yes, guys, give me suggestions for my Love Island people. Give me suggestions on shows that you want me to review, and I will check that out. But tomorrow I will start reviewing Love is Blind. I think we have 2 more weeks with that show, right? And then a reunion. So the shows that I will be starting tomorrow is The Real Housewives of Potomac and Love is Blind. That is tomorrow. Tuesday, my mom and I are reviewing The Bachelor. Wednesday, if I'm not working, will be a just chatting. I will let you guys know on Tuesday because that's when I will know if I'm free. I will let you guys know on Tuesday, and then I will make a poll, and y'all will give me the topics y'all want to talk about on Just Chatting. Just Chatting has no time limit. It's just going to be us hanging around and just chatting. I think for my UK people, like my people outside of America, because Robo just reminded me how late it is for them. I think I'll switch Just Chatting around. So I think I'll do it in the evening and then I'll do it in the afternoon so that everybody in the Star family could, have a go with just chatting. I forget what Thursday is, but Thursday is something, and then Friday is Housewives. Um, Housewives meaning Miami and Orange County, and Love After Lockup. So Love After Lockup will be at 7:30 on Friday. I don't know what I'm doing on Thursday. I'm doing something on Thursday. But again, for Just Chatting, I will let you know come Tuesday if that's happening and the time. Yeah, Johnny was disappointed, but he left with his head held high because Johnny knows he would have won. The show took that from him. That's the thing. It was everything was so unfair, and it's because America voted. And I think they let America in the votes because they knew that America will, with America, a white person will win it. And I just don't think that's fair. It's not fair. Alexa said no black woman should go on the show ever again. It will be the worst. Listen, if they go on that show, it's up to them. Let them have it. Let them have it. I listen. I will not be there. Segal, hey, said Johnny should just do the challenge. I agree. Hannah said Johnny knew he wasn't going to win 2 episodes ago. I think so too. He had a much different spirit. Jimmy said, I thought Johnny and Justine were already on the challenge. You know what? Now that you say that, I think one of you guys said that too. Dreadful Ruby said some people wanted to see Sydney steal the money. I think that's another thing because I was just like, did people hate voting Toby and Sydney? But I also think that there were hate votes, but there were also people who wanted her to steal the money. Brown Girl 44 said the problem is Johnny wasn't that likable and nobody knew anything about Gabby at all. That's fine. He still played a great game. America should have never been able to snatch that win from him. What's his purpose? That I think if the black girls do come on, they are going to think that they are going to have the success of Ola and Shelly. Listen, the only way I'll watch Love Island again is if we have a Gen Z version, like I said, of Tiffany Pollard, Miss New York. If you're not Tiffany Pollard or Omarosa, I will not be watching and supporting. I want a dark-skinned black girl to go in there and raise hell with an afro. Jimmy said, I hope Justine and Johnny got a big side. Me too. Me too. Because that's not fair that they stole that from them. Nicole said Johnny should have been there. People were voting for Sydney and Toby after Sydney got the victim edit. Probably. It's not. Not only is it not for us, I don't think it's fair. Like, I don't think it's for anyone that isn't white. And that's so, like, what are you doing? You don't win like that. You may win for a season, but white people are not the whole makeup of America. You have to make sure that only white people are watching your show. And that has never been the case with Love Island. You've always had, especially USA, you've always had a huge black woman audience. And because of this time, you know what? I'm going to also give it this to Love Island. Because there is also a lot of interference now with our government and our media to make these shows look a certain way. And because these studios want to make certain deals that the government can only approve, they have to kiss the ring of the president. So they have to make things happen and look a certain way to get their approval. Also, a lot of our media is owned by like 4 billionaires, and they are all conservative. So we're going to get shows that look like this. I am actually probably going to invest in a VPN, and I think I might start just reviewing international shows because I feel like American reality TV and just scripted TV shows are going to look real 1930s Germany or Jim Crow America for a long time until this is over. Alexa said Johnny knew he wasn't being voted, and at the end of Friday's episode, he said, "Forgive me," when Ariana said America is voting for who will be in the finale, and that's just terrible. Janelle said, "Why is Sally on After Sun? She did not win anything. That should be something that Justine should be doing." Remember, Sally got on After Sun after how terrible Johnny did her. That was like a sympathy job for her. Dreadful Ruby said, "I wanted to see Johnny come in second to Justine again." Me too. Tia B said, "Do you think Johnny's producer prepped him? He held it together very well. I would have been upset." I think he pretty much knew. When they said America was going to vote, like you guys have said, I think he knew what it was. Ephraim Empathy said, "This show should never have had a public vote. It didn't help the season. It didn't. In my opinion, America's voting ruined the season, like it did season 7. But it gave winners that they believed the audience wanted." Hannah said, "A lot of the Karen voted for Sydney because of the sympathy edit after Toby secretly tried to snake her. Stupid." Paige said, "Maybe Johnny should have been a better person." Even if he was a better person, he would not have been in the end. He would not have been in the end. There were people who did not want or were mad at him because Josh made a dumb decision. Josh and Andrea made a dumb decision. And then the sympathy edit for Sydney. He wouldn't have been in the end regardless. He could have been a great person. He wouldn't have been in the end. And I say this as someone who is not a fan of that man. I remember all of his seasons. Yikes. Dreadful Ruby said they never should have involved the audience. It worked better season 1. I absolutely agree. Yeah, it ruins the show because it's a popularity contest. It's, oh, we think this person should win. That's how we got the winners that we got on Love Island. Only for them to like break up within a week. And now what? Where the hell are they? On their couches eating truffle pasta? Nicola and Landry are probably sitting down with Barack and Michelle Obama right now. That's your ethic. That should have been your freaking winners, Love Island. And now they don't even associate with you anymore. Fools. You will never get them back. They will never be on anything that you have because of how you did them. You fools. You never win playing dirty. You never win playing dirty. TA said, yes, Black women. I've been rocking with y'all Love Island USA for 7 seasons and Love Island games. You were on your own going forth. Deuces. Yeah, I'm not putting myself through this. For what? For what? I'm going where we are loved. B. Nichols said, I agree. The voting a couple out at the... It's so sad. If you want to do the voting, fine. Do them early. But when it comes down to the final 4, it needs to be a duel. What are you doing? Elenia said, them folks think they are entitled to everything, even though it's not deserving. Yep. Season 1 was far superior. Dreadful Ruby said Gabby and Johnny would have they would have won. They would have won. It definitely wasn't Maya and Brian. It definitely was. It definitely was. And Toby and Sydney was Huda and Chris. M said, I actually felt bad for Johnny. Me too. One would say dropping Adriana was a mistake because America was voting, but outside of that, he played a flawless game. He wouldn't have been there if Adriana was with him. And America wasn't liking her either. They should have. America shouldn't have voted. Monique said they rigged who would be in the final 3 because they didn't want Johnny to beat Isaiah. They needed their whites to win. That's what I believe. Because we still have not seen the results of that NBA game. Dreadful Ruby said the whole format was terrible. I say they need to work out kinks, but I just think the mix of the audience and games and the mix of games and love doesn't work. It doesn't, because nobody's there for love. Brown Girl 44 said, I don't think it was rigged at all. This episode was very lackluster. If they wanted to rig it, then this definitely wouldn't be what they chose. I do think, see, this is the thing. they are not thinking about what's best for the show. They're thinking about what's best for this regime. Everything is political. TA said Johnny and Josh should have been in the finale. This was yeah, I agree. Josie said, I think it was telling how most of the Islanders sided with Zay. Yep. Eliana said, nothing is said about burning in the sun. Listen, nothing's worse than Sydney spray tan. That thing was peeling. And this is the thing this is the thing, like, even as like a very young person, I never, and I don't know, I never felt like I was less than because my skin was dark. Because everybody was trying to get dark skin. So, like, how is that a bad thing? Like, how are you going to tell me that my skin is bad when you're literally burning your skin in the sun for it to get darker? That never made sense to me. So I was never convinced. I was never convinced that having dark skin was bad. I never believed that. And also, I had like great parents. So I come from like a dark skin family, like didn't play that. So I just I realized after when I went to college and moved out to LA, I realized that growing up, the way I grew up was very different than a lot of people. Very different. I keep on telling people, Philly is a city, but it is a bubble. Because only Philadelphians know this. When you get outside of Philly and you see the rest of the world, you're like, oh, what is happening here? Philly is a bubble. I'm telling you, there is nowhere else like that city. Philly is a liberal bubble. Mel Ron said, voting on a competition show with physical and mental game check makes no sense. Say it again, Mel. It makes no sense. These people are literally winning these challenges all for America to be like, it doesn't matter. So now what's going to happen on Love Island? Now what's going to happen on Love Island Games? Now we're going to get people who are going to skate through everything because America likes them. And then we're going to get another lackluster ending with people who should have never been in the bottom, who should have never been in the finale. So who's going to watch it now? Because it's just going to be who America likes. So nobody's going to strategize. Nobody's going to be cutthroat. Nobody's going to give us anything worth like gagging over. Nobody's going to give us any cliffhangers because it's going to be a popularity contest. So everybody's going to be nice. Everybody's going to be calling everybody sisters and friends and besties. America's vote ruins the show. Extremely disappointing. Agate Simone said, not even the Islanders. Yeah. Yep. They did not want her to win. Kendall is already starting. This might be the season. This might be the season. Turi said, I knew Johnny and Gabby wasn't getting the votes to go through. I kind of knew that too. Because one, Johnny didn't come into the season light. And two, he was playing the game. I was even afraid for Tyreek because of how he was playing. I've been watching Love Island since 2019. The data on the app and the fan talk help predict how things will go 90% of the time. Oh, wow. It was a terrible ending. Terrible ending. It should have been Johnny and Josh at the end, or it should have been Johnny and Justine. Amira said the first season of Games was so fun, but this season, it was disappointing. Hannah said, I knew producers would make Lucinda Genetics and Isaiah win based on season 7 winners. They didn't want any Black women winning. Yep. They said the Negro curse is broken. Justamina said, Nikki, so done. We didn't even get the extended intro at all. Ciao. I'm done. Yes, Potomac is tomorrow. Potomac is tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST, and Love is Blind is at 7 p.m. PST. Jay said, it's all BS. That's why I try not to get too invested because of everything. I wanted to give them a shot. Because I'm just like, because here's the thing. I wanted to give them a shot because I didn't know that America was voting. And then when it was introduced in the first episode, I was just like, this could get messy. But then we didn't get like a lot of America's votes. And now I realize how strategic that was. America wasn't voting a lot in the beginning episodes. America, their votes, they started calling in America to vote when it was getting down to the finale. They rigged the hell out of this. Skylar said, I don't know. I saw a lot of people mad at how Johnny treated Andreina. And in my opinion, that should not have mattered. That should not have mattered. It's Love Island games. It's Love Island games. Not like him as a person, absolutely. He wanted to win. He would not have been able to make it to the end with her. We wanted what's her name? We wanted Garby to do that with Kendall. That is the game. We cannot get mad at people for playing a good game. Get mad at them for being a terrible person, but for playing a good game, we can't do that to them. Tammy Talk said they rushed this season to get the bad taste of season 7 out of everyone's mouth, but it backfired. Yep. Now they lost me. Yes, Love is Blind is tomorrow at 7 p.m. PST. Spency said, I just blocked the Love Island page. Real Housewives of Potomac was good? Great. Thank you, Hannah. Metamorphosis said two back-to-back seasons of Love Island being a wash is crazy. Yep. I don't know. Can y'all let me know why he wasn't there? Why wasn't he? Dreadful said, when they posted the manners thing at KK after the BS last season, they showed their hand. Absolutely. We should have known. We should have known. Destiny said, production rigged this game to get the strong competitors out. How boring. Yeah, that's why America didn't vote until the competition, until the strongest people were at the end. That's all of a sudden you want to bring America in. We know why. Tish R said, I hope Alandria doesn't do that act. I don't think her and Nick will. I don't think they will. They're too big for the show. And at this point, can Love Island even afford them? Lavender Girl said, funny how they had no problem. Of course they didn't have no problem protecting her. We know why. Hannah said, we are still watching. We are still waiting for your. Just Chatting is coming. I will not know if I can do it until Tuesday. Raj said, hey, Nikki, are you doing call? Oh, yeah. I sent the thing. I'll send it again. Let me know if you want to hop in here. Hop on in. I sent it, Raj. I want to send it again. He needed that agility. And here's the thing. Even if he got gassed early, if they had a strategy, I cannot believe Tyreek was strategic this whole time until it counted. Until it, like, Dreadful said, Love is Blind is a freaking mess. The cast is possibly the worst yet. And the bar is very low. I'm telling you, I watched just one episode and I was like, something is off. How do you get a proposal in the first episode? That show doesn't feel real. Tama said, I don't remember, but did the producers want the cast to say nice things about Ariana after she got the backlash for saying negative comments about Shalandria? Probably. And this is the thing. This is why you cast 23-year-olds on these shows, because they'll do it. A 33-year-old, a 35-year-old would have been like, absolutely not. I'm not saying nothing nice about that B. She got me bullied. You know what I mean? But this is why you cast young people, because they're very easy to manipulate. Dreadful said Tyreek is real lucky he didn't have to duel throughout the season. No, he's not. He's unlucky because he should have been able to duel so he could see what he needed to give. He didn't know what he needed to give because he never did it. Brown Girl 44 said, this is actually Johnny's fault. In the basketball game, he focused on eliminating Josh instead of trying to win. He could have easily beaten Isaiah if he tried. Yep, he focused on that one bag. No strategy. Destiny said, I don't know why Toby felt he and Sydney were the underdogs. Ty and Zay never went in the duel, and Lucinda isn't as good as Sydney. He was putting down his couple for no reason. Yep. Josie said, Tyreek spent too much time fighting over bags. I think the pressure got to him, and he didn't do good in the moment. He was strategic until it needed to count. He did. Sago said, I fear Justine won. Actually, they didn't show the whole court as they normally would. And they were so quick to show them bags. I was just like, if we would have seen them and counted them bags up. Springtop said all the strong men were gone. Low-key, that alliance. Yeah, the alliance was the worst thing. That's why I'm like, why don't y'all break up the alliance? They're controlling the game, and we are going to get a lackluster winner. And that's exactly what happened. She's always carrying her team. If we want to keep it buck, she carried Jack. She carries every man she's with. Dreadful Ruby said, now I thought Lucinda was going to get the votes. That was the only pleasant surprise, but we all knew they were splitting the money either way. I knew Lucinda wasn't getting the votes. That's why they rigged it to have her and Isaiah be the best in that NBA game so that they can go to the finale. Because Lucinda and Isaiah never had good votes. They were not liked. So I knew when Ariana was just like, oh, they had the highest score. I said, how? How? Because if it was left up to America, Johnny would have beat Isaiah and Lucinda. They always were voted low. Cash Dior said Kendall saw all the comments. LOL. Of course, he didn't stand behind Lucifer. Takia said Kendall did an interview and changed his tune on Lucinda. Oh, really? Okay. Dreadful Ruby said Tyreek spent way too much time holding onto bags while being dragged to yellow spaces. Once you're there, like Toby said, yep. I don't know what happened. Brown Girl 44 said every other duel was more exciting than this last one. Terrible. It should have been the Vegas game. Lackluster indeed. M said, I blame Josh for this. Justine wanted to win with him, and she would have. If it was Josh and Justine, no way. No way. That's Josh's fault. Metamorphosis said, it's really crazy to think the best duel of the season with the men was Kendall and Josh. Yep. Yep. Devonda said, last year duel was more intense and more cutthroat than this season. Yeah, because America voted in. America voted. They ruined it. What's his purpose? That a lot of these businesses are hurting themselves trying to side with rotten pumpkin in the office. Yep. And it'll get worse. M said Johnny and Gabby were consistently last in the polls. There should have been no voting. I agree. Destiny's Child said, I knew Justine wasn't going to win for the third time. They used America to get rid of Johnny. They sure did. Dreadful said, Johnny has been in business for 3 seasons. I think the fact that they weren't going to still didn't help either. People wanted potential. Dreadful Ruby said, and Justine was always going to be getting top votes. Yeah. Yeah, and it should be escapism TV, Kathy. Natalie said, I watch games again if they get rid of me too. Now, I will give them that. If they get rid of America voting, I'll maybe watch. Because that genetics line, nasty work. Art World said so many people voted for Sydney despite black men. Lucinda with the win, really terrible. Springtime said, I hope Justine retires. At least she doesn't know what it's like to be dumped from the island. Yeah. I would have loved to see her three-peat. Devonda said, Lucinda is the worst winner in Love Island game season ever. This season was a white woman tears. Yep. Always Prices said, I don't even watch the show, and this one sounded like, I don't know what that means. Justine said, yeah, this is Trishelle winning traders all over again. Y'all have to watch when y'all go on these games, y'all have to watch the white woman that's playing the damsel in distress. That is the one to beat. Katie said, where was Chris in the audience? Did he? Yeah, I don't know. Takia said, viewers treat this like regular Love Island and not competition. They need to take the love aspect out of it. It's not even realistic. It's not. It's stupid. It's stupid. Josie said, I haven't watched Traders since Phaedra got eliminated, and I heard that, yeah. Destiny Child said, we never saw Gabby in a duel. What a waste of time. Yep. The holistic doc said, I don't think Chris came. He didn't. He wasn't there. B. Nickel said, I voted for Johnny because he provided entertainment for what the show was, and he deserved to be in the end. Like, you want to see the best players compete against each other. Not your favorite frail white person. Tama said, votes have been rigged ever since that annoying orange won. Yeah. Every election, every voting since that man won is rigged. Jay said, I watched every US and UK season, but if everybody decides to put the show on timeout. Devonna said, no more Americans voting. They're too emotional about the show and the children of the corn adults falling for the sympathy edit and not the competition. Yep. Destiny said, we never saw Gabby in a duel. What a waste. And we never saw Josh and Johnny duel against each other. What a waste. Justine said, for everyone who likes Traders, the first season of Traders, Ireland had its rough patches, but was a great debut. Oh, I didn't know they had an Ireland version. Johnny was a great player. He was a great player overall. The best player on the show, in my opinion. Florence said, I'm in Australia. Has the finale finished 2-1? Oh, Florence, I'm so sorry. Give Me Shelter said, hey, NikkiStar, Mama Star and Star fam. Hey. Hey, Tia. Devonda said, Jim Crow Island, I'm over this franchise. It's all political. TV's going to be like this for a while. Destiny Child said, Chris didn't come because he's still salty. Devonda said, Zay should have stolen the money. He should have. Miss Saxo B said, it's not fair that only Americans can vote amongst many other things. I agree. The holistic doc said, that's true. People were saying she was evil on Love Island, Australia. Everybody's saying that. Oh, thanks, Mama. Everybody was saying that. Can you actually Give me some, please.
And I got you one of these too because they told you to try it.
Oh, they want me to, I'll try grape.
Okay.
Mama Star got me a grape lollipop because you guys wanted me to try it. Oh gosh, they gave the worst person a win. My God, today. I hope so. But guys, that's on us. So Alandria got to where she was. You know what, Mom? Where's my other cup?
I was looking.
Oh, my oh. Because I got on, I don't want y'all to see my booty shorts. I got on booty shorts. Here, this one. It's not that I'm ashamed, but my butt not there yet. I'm gonna get to you, and when I do, you're gonna be like, Nikki, put some pants on. Also, okay, girl, that's enough. Okay, it's gonna be all ice. Thank you, child. Oh, the straw's right there. The straw's right there. We're gonna try grape, guys. Y'all told me to try grape. What? No, I don't want that big one. I like the glass one.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, I can't believe the worst. Well, you know what? The worst person in humanity is running the country. So that's the season we're in, child. Oh, my mom doesn't know. Justine and Ty lost.
No. Who won?
Lucinda and Isaiah. Yeah. They beat them.
Oh, no, they didn't.
They did, child.
They did. Ain't they?
Oh, my Ferrero Rocheros. Thank you.
That's
what we're all saying. We're saying it's rigged. It's rigged.
Yeah, they don't want these black people to win.
That's what everybody is saying.
That's a shame.
It's stupid for America to decide the final. Like, who are you? Those people worked hard to get there, and you can snatch that from them. America stole 250,000 from Johnny.
Hey, America ain't stole a goddamn thing.
They did. No, Mom. They voted America voted, and they.
You sure America voted?
Yeah, well, child. Because if Johnny would have been in the end, he would have won. He would have won. Natalie said, "I'm convinced they did America's vote to get rid of Johnny because they could have easily done a random draw." Yup.
Who tallies?
Oh, they're being controlled. They're absolutely being controlled, Tish. That's how Jimmy Kimmel got his show taken off air. And the only reason why his show came back on is because everybody started boycotting ABC.
Boycotting his show.
They took his show off the air. Stephen Colbert, his show is canceled. This is his last year. His show is canceled because he talked about how he did not like how CBS kissed the ring of Trump because they wanted to do a merger. Everything is being controlled. Mm-hmm. Everything is being controlled. Yes, thumbs up the chat. That's why I'm not saying this because I'm on YouTube, but I'm saying right now, the only thing that is not being controlled by this government is YouTube.
Yeah, because they about to
it's the only thing that right now is free. Zuckerberg kissed the ring of Trump. TikTok is now was bought by Oracle, who was a billionaire that helped elect Trump. Mm-hmm. YouTube is the only free thing right now, but they're coming for YouTube, and we're going to see if they kiss the ring. Dreadful Ruby said, being Australian doesn't give you any more insight to the edited television show. I'm Canadian. Americans' opinions are certainly not stupid because they're American watching on an American show. Okay. Springtime said, this is the first time a white woman has won an American Love Island. And of all white women, Lucinda. Dreadful said, take away the water aspect, but really scrap the show. True. Ha said, I knew Sydney was fitting to be up out of there. America shocked me with not even giving Johnny a chance. So unfair. Monami said, Johnny earned a spot in the finale. All that work only to be voted out while Lucinda. Yep. But I kept on saying, guys, I was like, she's pulling that white woman, frail damsel in distress edit, and it's going to work for her. Edge said, I thought Lucinda and Zay were safe because of the last challenge. I thought America's vote didn't matter for them. It shouldn't have. America should not have been able to vote in the final three. Devonna said, that's why she only had 5 people back her. Yep. because nobody liked her. And she was not liked by America, guys. I'm telling you, the show saved Lucinda, because if it was left up to America, Lucinda would not have been there. Florence said Lucinda was not nasty on Love Island Australia. She's a princess. Oh, chow. You about to get cussed out. Haas said, what were the ex-Islanders even back for? To decide who can keep the money. Devonda said, Florence, are you? Oh, see, I told you he was going to get cussed out, Florence. Princess said, did y'all see how Andrea friend-zoned Josh on After Sun? Did she faked it the entire time? Everybody was saying she got a man back home. Gibney Shelton said, I stopped watching after episode 10 because I just didn't like the challenges or the dynamics. You stopped watching when America started to control the game. Ed said, I don't think there should be voting for Love Island games. Me either. Everybody competing is putting in their all. The duels should decide, not America. Natalie said, I don't mind alliances, but having the last game be a 4 versus 1 was terrible. I agree. The holistic doc said, I saw the After Sun interview with Andrea. I'm not surprised. I peeped she was not into Josh like that. We all knew that. Princess said, I remember Lucinda was choosing a brother on her original season of Love Island that got sent home, and she's been drinking milk. Listen, she played to win. Haas said Johnny needs to go back on the challenge. I feel like he may thrive in that environment. Johnny will thrive in any environment where he can manipulate and use his muscle. Katie said exactly. They're tanking their show and the name. Oh, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. Even in Hollywood, these movies, a lot of these movies with all white cast, bomb. They do not bring in the money as much as a diverse or a black led cast. None of them do. But they take those money from those successful black shows, those successful black movies, those successful diverse movies and shows. They take the money from those shows and those movies and they put them back into white projects that will bomb. It's the stupidest decision making because they have this replacement theory fear that nobody cares. That's the thing that they do not understand. Nobody cares. We just want to live a happy and peaceful life. They are the only ones competing with everybody. Everybody's just living and they're competing because they don't want to be replaced. Psychosis. It's race psychosis. Nicole said, yep, Josh was up on Justine, got dumped from the show, then immediately friend Joan Isaiah. Idiot. Andrea, he would have won. Hannah said, even if Josh stayed with Justine, the producers would have made sure Lucinda, yeah.
Well, how did Ty and Justine lose? What happened?
We don't know. I will say Ty didn't make the best decisions, but something is funny up with that ending. It didn't make sense. So, guys, we're going to try it after I read this comic from the Holistic Doc. The Holistic Doc said, unrespectfully, Lucinda was not licensed in Love Island Games Season 2 from what I saw, and the snide remarks done was awful. It absolutely was. All right, let's try this and see if it's worth the hype. This is great. Olipop, great. Oh, this is actually not bad. I will say in this one, I can taste the Ollie Smart, which is a like sweetener. I can taste this more than I can in the orange cream. But this isn't bad. This is not bad at all. It is great. It is classic great, but I can taste the Ollie Smart a bit more. Josie said, I don't need to see Tyreek ever again in my life. He served his purpose, providing some entertainment to this lackluster season. Same. But listen, if him and Justine want to make this work, capitalize. Hannah said, Justine is about to ditch Tyreek real soon, especially after she saw him stay on the ground. She got the ick, I think. Sorry. He didn't compete well. Justine pulled her weight, Ty didn't. And that's the thing. He should have been put in them duels. He should have been put in them duels. Maybe I'll even go along with that because it does not make any sense, guys, that Ty, who was strategic this entire game, fell flat when it mattered. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yes, like it didn't make sense to me. Monami said, I was shocked Kendall didn't stand behind her being his bestie and all. Child, he must have been talking to Garby. He must have been talking to Garby. Hannah said, if Nicolandria didn't win season 7 despite being the most popular, I knew Justine wasn't going to win, even if she was coupled with Joshua, another white woman. I don't want Beyond the Villa. I got to be honest with you. Beyond the Villa is poorly produced. It's not a good entertaining show. I tried to watch it. It's bad. It's bad. It just is so faked and overproduced. I don't know why it looked like that. Nasby said, I saw someone say that the Love Island has the black woman every. Yeah, because it's a black-led show. It's like the majority of the audience used to be black women. So to spit on your audience because you're trying to gain a racist white audience is insane. But it happens. It happens.
We gotta stop watching these.
Yeah, we do. Dreadful Ruby said, I frankly suspect they'll put some 3 black women of an Arab man, at least. Oh, Big Brother. But guys, I'm telling you, TV is going to, I would say right now, while YouTube is a safe space, I would tell you guys all to make this your new network. Invest in here, invest in creators that look like you, invest in creators who think like you and who see the world the way you see it, and in a healthy way. You know what I mean? Because the stuff that you are going to be fed in the media is absolutely controlled by this government in America, by this government. And you also have to realize, especially with TikTok, are you or do any of you realize you don't see anything from people from non-American content creators? You don't see any news from outside. Like it, the algorithm is rigged. The media is rigged. They're going to force feed you what they want you to believe. So you are going to be fed that white is right and it is the best. And you are going to be fed it by seeing very great non-white competitors on like these kind of game shows lose to the frailest and most terrible white competitors to ever play this game. You are going to see the most basic white people in these love shows be picked by the baddest people of color ever. That is the agenda that's going to be forced on you. You're going to see your sitcoms, your movies with these basic, mediocre whites leading the charge. You're going to see the worst actors win awards these award seasons. You're going to see the worst movies that were ever produced win big awards. And you're going to be gagged. But they are trying to force white mediocrity on all of us. It's even happening in our education. Y'all better look at what is being taught in your kids' schools. It's been the agenda for a very long time. They're dumbing down the nation and they are feeding them a white mediocrity is the best narrative. And it's going to start where you spend the most of your time on that damn phone. Stay woke. Everything is political. Yeah, Mama Star is here, giving your girl some Olipop. You'll see Mama Star on Tuesday. We're going to do the Golden Bachelor. Ross said the image American Dream won blind. Yep. Hannah said the show started with the most black cast and producers made sure to move. Yep. It started removing KK. Absolutely. Snooze. The people that we wanted to see compete, we never got to see. BY said, why was Justine hyping up Lucinda before the duel? Lucinda is what I believe a winner should be like. She is a winner. Lucinda is she's hostile and nasty towards black women, Garby and KK. Yeah, that's exactly what America is about. Nasby said, I'm glad I got spoiled enough to skip the show. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. You did not miss anything. Well, you have to be alert. It's going to happen in everything. It's going to happen in everything. And it's already happening in the commercials. It's going to happen in award shows. It's going to happen in movies. It's going to happen in TV shows. Every form of content you consume, everything is now being crafted with the conservative, right-wing, white nationalist agenda. Ross said, "Listen, played the game good. I don't know what's going on. Attitude. Her attitude was bull. She knew what she signed up for. Listen, that's what I've been saying from the very beginning. She is playing the white woman damsel in distress role, and it's going to work for her, and it did. Trishelle. Yeah, I don't know why they never called Justine. I don't know. I have no idea. Nala Moon said, I need Justine to know who she is. She doesn't need Love Island at all. I hope they paid her handsomely. Nas B said, maybe this is Justine's sacrifice so she can become the host. But with the political Justine. But with the political landscape, I now wonder if the host and the faces of even our escapes will be. I think this is going to happen. Hannah said, I think the producers use the excuse of letting America voting as a way to rig the game without us questioning it. Art World said all season they hyped up Johnny.
I think so too.
Yeah. All season they hyped up a Josh and Johnny duel. Yep. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. Hey, boss. Boss said, hello, Star family. I didn't watch the finale, but I'm glad I didn't. You didn't miss anything. Give Me Shelter said about that season. Apparently, Taylor Swift has her fan base in a tizzy. Same or figuring out she's yeah. I can't believe they bought that. Like for her to be a country singer from Pennsylvania. Those people are weird. Tia B said, I'm visualizing the Avengers Endgame scene. This is scary. Ciao. Yes. Everybody was in a tizzy over Dancing with the Stars. I'm telling you guys, everything is political. They're rigging the games for the people that they want to win. Mm-hmm. Yes. Takia said, we are stuck in a perpetual loop because they never handle Reconstruction correctly. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is, I'm telling you, I saw that Dancing with the Stars drama and I'm just like, everything is political, guys. The people that run these networks are white nationalists and they are going to pick who they want or your show is getting canceled. Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, they're doing it. That's what's going to happen. And that's what needs to happen. They need to show that they are a community that you cannot mess with and that they will stand together. That's what needs to happen.
I hope they go on to make the money like Nick and Alandria.
Me too. That's why we got to get behind Justine. Art World said, then the black and white bag concept was everything is political. Honey Hernandez, I know that's right, said they should never put in public votes. Last season was a great game because there was no votes. Yep, it was all grit. It was all strategy. And that's what should win the game. BY said this show has been for years against black women. Won't this stop? In a few years, we will find out that, oh, yeah, I'm telling it's all, when it drops, if I can get on live, we're going to do a live because when it is revealed, yeah, he did. When it is revealed, it's going to be some rogue crew member. It's going to be like, listen, they had us doing all of this stuff. The holistic doc said, I've had the experience of a restaurant seating my family and I in the back of a restaurant when I was in Boston like 15 years ago. Oh, yeah, we don't do that. My family, we don't allow you to sit us in the back and we do not allow you to sit us by the bathrooms. Absolutely not. We'll take the booth in the front.
Or we'll leave. Absolutely.
Boss Tamara said, hello, Star family. Thank you for the update on the finale. I'm glad I didn't watch it. Ew, tomato for the winners. Dreadful Ruby said, as if with all strategy, Johnny, Toby, and Ty dropped the ball to go after Andrea and Josh. Fools. Johnny should have been going for the win. They handed that to Lucinda and Zay. I agree. Give Me Shelter said, I hope the 2024 and 2025 Black cast and Nick decide to not work with Peacock again. Here's the thing. I don't think they're going to be able to get Nick and Landria. I don't think they can afford them. I think they're on the bigger and better things.
What, get them what, the game?
Any other Love Island show. I think they're good. Justina said, only thing that would have saved the dreadful ending would be the first money still. Yeah, that would have been like, ooh, gaggery, but no. And here's the thing. Isaiah could have used the extra 125K, but here's the thing. I don't think Isaiah realized this is a show that has a base in California. That money is getting taxed. I think if Isaiah did the math and realized that he was only going to walk away with like 75K, I think he would have kept it. I think remember in the beginning, I was like, $250,000 is nothing. Especially with how they're going to tax that.
They make it sound like
that's why they say $250,000. They don't really tell you what you're walking away with. He's walking away. I know when he gets that check, and he's like, wait a minute. That Cali tax will get you every time.
He split it with her?
He split it with her. Because he thinks he's getting 125K. Oh. They don't tell y'all what it is after taxes. Art World said, I can't stand Johnny when he ate this season. He made the season. I couldn't stand Ty, but I was loving how cocky he was. And Toby fighting for a black woman. His first and last time doing that. Springtime said, I think the nerves got to him. There were so many questions and the pressure of being with Justine. It did, but I'm like, why did it get to you at the end? This is what supposed to pay off. Dreadful said, and the mystery box was little man Casey and bad and fit Gabby, a little lopsided for the exes. Which didn't land with either ex couple. Here is the thing. Love Island Games needs to do two things to make it a good season. Get rid of America voting, and you need to cast people who are physically fit and ready to play some mental games. The last thing they have to do is remove the love from Love Island Games and just call it To Love or Not to Love Island, something like that. Because I know you got to keep Love Island love in there because of the name of the show, but you need to remove that aspect and let these people duke it out. The duels were the best thing of this show until we got to America voting. America screwed it. Because I don't want to see Lucinda in anything. I don't want to see her in any challenges. No shade. I don't want to see Sydney in any challenges. I want to see Gabby see what she can do. I want to see what Justine can. I want to see what Garvey can do. I want girls who can compete. The guys showed us that they can compete. If we like Johnny and Gabby, I needed to see them. I needed to see them go after it. This was such a waste. Thomas said, why do some people have a problem with a black woman winning more than once? Because a black woman winning changes the narrative about black women, and then that puts us in a position of leadership.
Well, who black woman won? Serena?
Justine. She won Love Island Games the first season.
Oh, did she? Okay. She won the money?
Yeah. And she split it. Annette said, Justine is pretty, has a great personality, and comes across as a genuine on camera.
Well, if I would have known that, I would have known they wasn't going to give it to her.
Yeah. She can go far. I am not sure what her goals are. Dating shows are a waste of her time. I hope the show gave her at least 100K for losing.
Because they all still get money.
No, you don't. You get a stipend. Yeah. To compete, but you don't get money. But I feel like Justine.
But Love Island, didn't Alandria and them get money?
No.
They did get money. They got paid.
No, you don't. The only people who won the cash prize was Amaya and Brian. You get money to be on the show, but it's not a lot of money. That's what I'm
talking about.
Yeah. It's the regular. What everybody else get, like a grand a week. Yeah. Well, yes, I feel everyone voted against Johnny. I split my vote between him and Justine. I thought this is what happens when you split the votes. You can never split the votes. We just have to make a decision. I think we need to do it like this, guys. Moving forward, if we ever come back to Love Island, East Coast votes for one of the black people. West Coast votes for the other black person. And then the global blacks, if you can vote, split your votes between your time zone. That's the only way. We need to be in communication of who we are voting for. Dreadful said, I can't wait to watch Johnny on HOV, House of Villains. It's funny that he had to live with Ariana. Oh, so he is on the show. Good for him. Art World said, we need to be in the comments rooting for Justine. So many people saying she didn't deserve the win because she won twice, only fuel
She
the
won
haters.
2 times before.
She won the original Love Island.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. That's why Johnny should have been in the end. If you don't want Justine to win twice, put Johnny in there. Let's see him go after it. Dreadful said Johnny was on the challenge. It was awesome. A rookie who gave no Fs. Yeah, for some reason, he hasn't been back since. Justine hasn't been on the main show either. But that's a huge time commitment. Johnny should have won this. Lavender Girl said if Johnny stayed with Andreina, he would have won for the popular vote. You think so?
Yeah.
Paige said, I feel like the Mega Duel challenges weren't even all that to be the final duel. So lackluster. It was a lackluster ending. Give Me Shelter said, I would love if you could review Peacemaker. Oh, you did say that. An interview with a vampire. Let me write that down right now. Because you guys did say that.
All she do is wear bathing suits.
Peacemaker. What was the other show? Interview with a Vampire. This is the time to get back into your books, guys, because media, it's gonna be a mess. Art World said, I blame Josh for recoupling with Andrea, who friend-zoned him on After Sun. Fool. TA said, Justine has been on the challenge, the perfect match in Love Island. Hopefully no more dating shows for her. Hopefully. Dreadful said, I heard Gertie and Adriana were fired for next season. So besides Kiki, just incredibly unlike when people left. One of the worst casts to me, Larsa, Alexis, Lord help me. I hope that Gertie wasn't fired. She gave a good season. The holistic doc said, Love is Blind is all over the place, and I think Edmund needs medical attention. He's not normal. I agree. For what I've seen, he's a little off. Jimmy said, how did Edmund? I don't know. He probably didn't. The holistic doc said Johnny and Justine were on the challenge. Oh, yeah, maybe I will review House of Villains again. I mean, not again, but maybe I'll review that. Let me add that to the list. That might be fun.
Wait a minute, Johnny is on that?
Yeah. BY said, no more game show for me. America is... I don't know what that means. America is for who? I'm not going to watch any more shows where America can vote. I don't feel like that. I'm watching for the people and what they're able to do. Give Me Shelter said, if these shows keep playing, they are going to alienate their Black and Asian fan base and our groups. And yep. That's what needs to happen, though. How much are you going to take? Propaganda to the finest. Jimmy Speaks said, Love Island casting finds amazing Black women, but the producers and editors are borderline demonic. Yep. You know, I was thinking about that. We did talk about that. I was thinking about that. Because I was like, how would we do it? So will we meet like once a week? I want to try to iron out that and see how we can do that. And I want to pick a genre. Yeah, let me work that out because I'm also working on the podcast and I just got a lot on my plate for this channel. So let me also work that out. It might honestly be best to do that later in the holiday season because I feel like that's when everything pretty much slows down. So we'll see. We will see. Really? Let me look into that. What is it? Nord VPN. Because I'm just like... Katie said, Sally got After Sun Games season 1. After game season 1, not after her season, which was season 2. Yeah, didn't she get it for how she was treated? Loud. Dreadful said, if Johnny, New York, and Tyson team up, my soul would be fed. I cannot wait to watch this. Jimmy said, I also think because season one Love Island Games wasn't airing live, it gave the editors more time to create a better show. Yes, that is true. I remember that. It was such a better season. It was just all competition, grit, like psyching people out. It was good. When you just left it to them to create a show, it was good. Brown Girl, it was also a different production team. Brown Girl 44 said the two teams with the lowest votes should have dueled. Thank you. There was a way to make this more entertaining. I agree. That's what I keep on saying. I'm like, I don't think they would have voted him in with her either. Nasby said, the way I cut the show off and went back to my K-drama, LOL. If my shows are going to be ethnically homogenous, I like them to be fictional. Thank you. Thank you. Give Me Shelter said, the pendulum is going to swing back hard and has been a good enough, and there has been a good enough apology invited yet to, and there hasn't been a good enough apology yet to forgive what's being done and say, oh, the Lord going to have to work on me because I will never forgive these people that voted for this. This is evil was on the line, and you took it. Those people do not need to be redeemed, in my opinion. Make them pariahs of society. Princess said, Nikki, if you were to choose 3 guys and 3 girls who haven't been there yet to be on the next Love Island Games, who would they be? I don't even know enough Love Island people to pick. What is her name? Xena Warrior Princess, the Australian girl from season 6. She would be good, but she's in a long-term relationship. Kayla, because I think although she is emotional, I think she could pull it out. I think she could pull.
Pepe.
Oh, Pepe would be great. Who else, Mom? You know what? No, I'm not going to put up Kayla. I'm going to do Xena Warrior for my girls. I'm going to do Xena Warrior Princess. I don't know enough women. I don't know. I don't know enough people. Who do you guys think? She need to go back to that red hair. Sarah said, a shame because when this season was struggling to stay on air, that yes, they always do that. That's what happened. That's how we got UPN. That's how we got WB. When I grew up, it was all black shows. And it was all black shows because those stations were struggling. Those studios were struggling and they were bleeding money and they needed to do something to get the audience back watching. And that's how we got all the black shows we got. That's how we got the WB. That's how we got UPN. And as soon as they got enough money and as soon as the black community got them out of the red, they canceled all those black shows and made everything white. See, this is the thing. We've been here before. We've been here with media before. We're just disappointed because we thought we were past that. We didn't know that we would have to deal with this again. All the black shows are being canceled. Now every show is going to be white. They're only producing all white films. Like we have lived through this before. We're going to see all white people win awards for the worst performances ever, the worst albums ever. We're going to see it again. We've been here before. Yeah, that's the thing. People don't realize this show is just to entertain you.
Yeah.
Shay said, same, Nikki. I always felt beautiful, especially due to all the gorgeous. Yeah. Ashley Banks, Naomi Campbell, Maya Campbell. Yes. Mm-hmm. We had beautiful dark-skinned women in the media. That sister that was in House Party, the dark-skinned sister, she was like the ingenue of every black movie. Gabrielle Union. Like, I was it. Still am. Like, I'm a mom. Hello.
Did y'all hear me?
Yes, you are loud. They heard you burping. They hear you smacking.
I'm sorry.
They hear you stomping in the kitchen.
I apologize, Star family.
Josie said, with the way season 6 girls reacted to her, on top of her closest with Lucinda, her main character personality, and delusions of being a natural blonde, I'm back side-eyeing Andrea. I will say she got a little, not redemption arc for me, but I like her better on Love Island Games than on season 6. Thank you. I think that is so unfair to work that hard and America gets to take it away from you because it's a popularity contest. I hate that. He made the show and they took it away from him. Dreadful said, I don't even think Johnny did Adriana that bad. Yeah, he made her vulnerable, but if people cared so much, they should have voted for her. He tried to constantly hype her up. She pouted about it. Listen, he did the girl dirty, period. Point blank, period. However, she's my girl. She should have left the show. Adriana came to a game show where there are mental and physical challenges and said she wanted the soft life. As soon as he heard that she didn't want to work, he said, I'm going to get me a partner that does. I don't think he's wrong for that. I think he's wrong for just being a terrible person. I don't think he's wrong for picking a partner that wants to compete in the games. Now, he is wrong for lying to that girl because what he told the guys, he did not tell her until it was time for her to be eliminated. That was shiesty. He should have been upfront and honest with her. Don't be kissing and rubbing up on her, knowing that if you get the opportunity, you're going to switch partners. That's what I'll say he went wrong with me. However, she told him she didn't want to work. And he said, I got to get me a partner that does. I don't think he's wrong for that. Kayla said, Ty is fine AF, but he lost that for Justine. He did. He did. You know what? He probably overseas playing ball. Nicole said, someone said Chris and Charlie had a brand deal time conflict. Oh, good for them. Jimmy said, I think Nick and Alandria might work with Netflix once Peacock embargo, and they better. Listen, Netflix pays you immediately. Work with them. I'm still waiting to get back with them. Netflix casting. I'm ready. Princeton said, I'm also happy Andrea and Josh didn't make the final. Andrea's pro-Trump MAGA tweets ruined her redemption arc for me. Listen, smart people don't like Trump. And that's all I have to say about Andrea. Nicole said, couldn't we tell? That strategy that they had, child. Nicole said, Nick asked on one of his live if people would want to see him do Beyond the Villa, and it was a loud no. It'll cheapen their brand. And that's not me hating on Love Island. Them going back to Love Island would cheapen their brand. You guys are legitimate celebrities. What are you doing a reality TV show? No. You guys need to be doing sitcoms and movies. Alandria needs to be posted up at fashion shows. That's it. Dreadful Ruby said, BTV was a disappointment. Beyond the Villa was a disappointment too. The drama was silly and boring. The only good part was learning that PPG was on more personal level. The discussions of Serena's anxiety and Leah's health worries. Yeah. But see, we should have found that on. They should have did their own thing. And that is the thing. Once these people realize you're in partnership with the network, not in debt to them. And so many people go to them being like, oh my God, this is my only shot. If I don't get it there, I can't get it anywhere. And that is your problem. They feed off of your desperation. You need to go in these meetings with networks like a partnership, like you are both helping each other out and you are making this deal because it helps the both of you progress. You are going into these meetings and doing these jobs with these networks being like, thank you so much for choosing me. You got to know who you are before you go in those rooms. Because if you don't know who you are before you go in those rooms, they will tell you who you are and you will believe it. And they will tell you who you are and it is less than what you actually are, because the moment they can get you to believe that you are less than, they can take advantage of you. You don't need that network. That network needs you. Malin, hey, said Johnny already wasn't liked by the public and Gabby doesn't have a fan base. Johnny should have stayed with Andreina because she had a fan base. She wasn't even bad and he could have coached her. I get that, but I'm not sure that y'all would have voted for her. Not with Justine there. Natalie said, I didn't watch the duel, but wasn't similar to last year's duel with Jack and Justine. There's no way Justine didn't know the strategy. Was it the same thing? I don't think they would have given her the same challenge. Jimmy said, Leah handpicked the producers of Beyond the Villa, so I knew it would be juicy. I think there's a possibility of a good, and that's the thing. The cast should never be able to pick production. Nasby said, Nikki, when Dreadful Ruby said they thought Love Island was going to get the vote, Lou was going to get the votes, I think they meant the votes from the Dump Islanders. Oh, okay. Alexa said the producers knew they would not be getting Johnny into the finale the minute he told Isaiah he was coming after him after the Vegas challenge, and Lucinda started a mess. A mess. Brown Girl 44 said if it was rigged for white, then why didn't they pick Josh instead? He is a better competitor and had a better backstory. No. It was. No, the whites that was supposed to win was Josh and Andrea. Josh screwed it. They set Josh up to win. He screwed it by trying to do math. That challenge was for him to win. Him and Andrea was supposed to win that. That was Josh. You can't put that on production. They help them people as much as they can. Josh lost that. Art World said Love Island following would have blown up even more if Justine won, especially off the heels of Nicolandria. Probably. Shay said because they wanted to appeal to white America, if anybody else wins, they'll call her DEI. Yeah, well, they can have it now. Josie said Josh's strategy plays a role in this. If he didn't keep the white ball, yep, Lucinda and Zay probably would have lost it. Yes, this is on Josh. Alexa said Chris came back home. He brought his mom a car. Oh, what happened? Nasby said, even if someone goes rogue and spills about the show, will it make a difference? It will if they don't settle, because then that opens up the show to lawsuits. And I think what NBC is going to do with Love Island USA is just cancel it. And then it'll go back over to the UK where it started. And they'll just settle with whoever. But if we get a whistleblower on this show, NBC is just going to cancel the show. They're not going to fight it. They're just going to cancel it. Because why cause those problems? But if a whistleblower comes on this show, child, didn't the current owner of Twitter announce that the current U.S. president rigged the election and nothing came of it? Yes, because he just said it, but there needs to, everybody knows it. We need a whistleblower. We need to have the proof. Unless he gave proof, you can't do nothing with it. So said I stopped watching at the top two. It's the last time in good name I'm watching this mess. Same. Very, very 90s gorgeous. That bone structure is crazy. Jimmy said Garby needs to get away from Kendall. The way she's acting, I don't know, child. Tia B said, Nikki, thanks again for sticking with us. You're so welcome. But now it's time for us to mature. Go on to greener pastures. What's next for us, guys? Josie said, Garby is based in Europe. I don't think she's going to be as successful as Ola. You never know. Yeah, and I think we also need to stop comparing any dark-skinned black woman's success to Alandria, because this whole thing with her, this is something different. We also have to realize it's very spiritual what's going on with her. This is an anointed time for that young lady. We can't say, oh, we have to do this so she can be as successful as that. What happened for Alandria was ordained for Alandria. We now just have to put our support as Black people in the Black community. Period. So Justine and Garby, wherever they may be in their life, we need to stand 10 toes behind them, because Black women are fighting an unrealistic battle. We are fighting billions of witches and warlocks and, spiritual wickedness in high places. We are in a battle all by ourselves. We have to stand with each other. Just to say, kind of need Johnny to do another live exposing everything he did. Me too. I'm like waiting. But I think, here's the thing. I think Johnny got some kind of deal. He's too chill. After Love Island Game Season 1, he was pissed. He told everything. He's too chill. Art World said we all have to go follow Garby. I'm going to follow Ty also. Hell, maybe even Johnny. They need more followers. Let's do it. So Stop said if Johnny wasn't evil to Adriana, he would have been hated that much. It was disgusting to watch him destroy her. But here's the thing, guys. What did y'all want him to do when that woman told him she did not want to do anything? And I like her, but I'm like, why would you tell him that? What was he supposed to do? Get each other said took Colbert off in his highest rated Tonight Show and won an Emmy. Yeah, he was their highest rated show, period. And took him off the air. Aquarius said Justine honestly has so much potential to be a star, like the season 6-7 girlies, by the way. Ola taking over Ola Fest and Shelly apparently going to yeah, the girls are working. The girls are working. Oh, yeah, this is his last season. They canceled him because he called out the owners of CBS kissing the ring of Trump. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cindy said, every time I tried to vote, it never let me. It's rigged. Lucinda and Zay shouldn't have automatically been moved to the Final Four. There should have been a challenge. Yes, the reason why they were moved to Final Four is because they would not have been voted in. And they wouldn't have beat anybody in a duel. Never. Because if she did, she wouldn't have been there. Nobody really backed her. Jimmy said, I wish we came together and started our own apps network. The time is now. Oh, it's happening. The time is now. One thing about us, when it's time, we get the action. We get the action. Dreadful Ruby said, oh, yes, it's like, I believe Zay and Lucinda wouldn't have gotten the vote. No, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't. Natalie said Johnny needs to be like Johnny Bananas and play the villain role. He just can't go on a voting show. I agree. And said I really wanted to see if Tyreek would have shared the money. I don't think so. What do you think? See, that's the thing. I don't know. I have no idea. Dreadful said Johnny fell flat too strategically. He really fumbled letting Lucinda. Yep, he did. Janelle said, I forgot all about Beyond the Villa. Granted, I don't care about the cast. Once the show is off, they hyped that show up so bad just for it to be boring. It was terrible. Let me go back to this Dreadful Ruby. Johnny absolutely did fumble it because I would have taken out Lucinda and Isaiah because they literally came after you. You not coming after them is foolish. It wasn't a smart strategy. You already had an alliance with Josh. So you already knew that you and him wanted to go to, like, yeah. So Johnny messed himself up too. Janelle said, I forgot about Beyond the Villa. Granted, I don't care about the cast once the show is off. They hype. Yeah, I just got that. And said, I may have to try Olipop since you talk about it so much. What are your 3 favorite flavors? Are there other people I got sodas bring you like just as much? Here's the thing. I only started drinking Olipop because my sister does. She brings them home. Like, I think she gets them for free at her job, but she brings a lot home. So I just started drinking them. My favorite now is the orange cream. My second favorite is orange squeeze. And my third favorite is cherry vanilla. Just John said, Nikki, you're absolutely right. Those in power are no longer hiding. The hoods are off and the agenda is literally in the writing. The propaganda machine includes whitening arts and entertainment too. Absolutely. Even our military. They said everybody who is not white is going. They're getting rid of us in our military. They're not hiding. Springtime said, Nikki, you're so right. White mediocrity is being pushed. People are ripping that new teller out. Yep. I also think, here's the thing, with the pushback, when you push, the people you're pushing, push back as well. And you better be ready for them to push back harder. Because I think if we were living in a different time, if we had Kamala as president, they would have been eating that album up. But because this is a time where where white mediocrity is being forced on people, even the people who would have hyped this up are like, oh, it's very obvious now. Now they're able to see what everybody has been seeing before. They're just like, what is this? And everybody's just like, oh, it's always been like this. But because we were in like a peaceful time, you could never really see it. But now that all of this mess is being forced on us, people are being suffocated by so much white mediocrity that they're starting to wake up from it because they pushed too hard. And that is the thing. If this president would not have pushed so hard, he would have had a much easier presidency because he's pushing so hard against everyone. I feel like he feels like he's not going to make it 4 years. So he's trying to do everything that he wanted to do in 4 years, or that this party wanted him to do in 4 years, and won. It's too much. You're even pushing the people who would never say anything. You're forcing them to stand up. You're forcing them to speak out. You're forcing them to fight back. Going after Jimmy Kimmel was ridiculous. And then you went after him and you found out how popular he really is. And now somebody who would have remained neutral, just would have said a couple of jokes, but never really would have rallied the troops. Now that you done came after him and he knows what you're capable of, now he's fighting back. They pushed too hard and too fast. And now here we are. Lavender Girl said, I don't know about in the US, but here in schools, you have to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land. Glad I work with decent people teaching kids critical thinking and emotional. Yes, it's getting scary. Alexis said, Nick asked during a live. Okay, I got that one. Springtime said, Johnny was hated because of who we knew him to be on the show. I don't think he should grace them with his time unless he gets a redemption arc too. That's what I thought he was getting this season, child. Nicole said, Nikki, you must watch Interview with a Vampire. Perfect for spooky season. I added it to the list. Thank you so much. Never Forgiving. Evil was on the line and you said yes. You say yes. Betty said exactly. Every person who says this wasn't what they voted for, being intentionally obtuse, is exactly what you voted for. You wanted to harm others and didn't think it boomerang back to impact you. Yep. And now we have black men being hung from trees like fruit. Strange fruit. This is what you voted for. Hey, Audrey. Audrey said Andrea knew that she would get U.S. votes with Josh, so she chose him for the redemption arc, but got the ick from him being a clown that I would have too. But again, you gotta blame yourself. You let him count. You let an athlete do math. That's on you. Betty said it's time for Black and brown viewers to tap out. All these companies care about their viewerships and ads, so don't give them views. True. That's the way you got to fight back. Fight back like y'all fought for that rich white man to keep his show. Fight back. Sosop said, I wasn't entertained by Johnny. The damage he did to Andrea deeply affected me to my core. I hate him with all my soul. Oh no, Sosop. Here's the thing. Don't let any person, any man at that, or anybody on a reality TV show affect you so deeply to your core. Absolutely not. This is supposed to be entertaining. If it's not entertaining you, turn it off. I'll review something better. Dreadful said, besides the odd thing on Big Brother, I don't watch any other shows where America votes. I think that might be the way to go for some peace. Audrey said, Johnny told Josh he wouldn't go after him, but Josh wasn't surprised because he knows how Johnny plays these games. Yep. It will remain in his imagination. It certainly will. Mel said, I couldn't make it past 5 minutes of the first episode to be on the Villa. It's a terrible show. We just got to be honest about that. BY said, I remember the pumpkin man from this show, The Apprentice. I can't recall. Oh, there was one. There was one black guy. I don't know where he is. Dreadful Ruby said, why if they didn't vote for her when she went into the duel and went home, would they have voted for her with Johnny? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Betty said, LMAO, I didn't even know Andrea had pro clown treats. I knew not to trust her because she's Cuban, guys. We kind of knew where this was going. A Miami Cuban? Okay. Alexa said, Alandria is lightning in a bottle. It will never be repeated. Yeah, we got to read the Times or read the stars, baby. Her glow up, her come up, her rise to fame. That is something heavenly, God sent. Jeffrey Rubin said Garvey only has 42K followers on Instagram. Nicola's is low too. Only ones I can really base it off. The others had decent following going in. Yeah, we got to get Garvey's numbers up, and she got to get to America. Josie said, amen. I wish success for all the Black women that have come out of this franchise, whatever that means for them. Me too. Me too. They definitely should do more reality TV, but also the ball has to be in their court. They have to find the right representation, and they need to get their behinds on YouTube. You can craft your own narrative here, and you can make money off of a fan base and an audience that actually likes you and wants you to win. Betty said, I think had Johnny moved a new bombshell at the next opportunity instead of unnecessarily endangering Andreina himself when they were already safe, there would have been less. That's true. I agree with that as well. Spill is a Black-owned app. It's so difficult navigating. That's the only thing. We need a Black app that's easy and fun. Spill just got so much going on. Miss Lou said Leah has a super rich dad who probably gave. Oh, she had the power to fight for that. Yeah. Indigo Girl said Ollipops are expensive. I went to the groceries, $8.99 for 4 cans. Oh no, you got to get a deal. We have to get them for free or we got coupons. Josie said, really, the military is trying to get rid of the, absolutely. Did you see that speech where they said they're getting rid of DEI? You know what DEI means to the white nationalists, non-white people. That's it. They're going to make it all white, all straight white military. They're going to have a hard time making it straight, but okay. I'm sorry. I when he said that, I said, well, yippee ki-yay. I don't want Black kids to die for this nation anyway. Shay said, I haven't loved the Taylor album since Red 1989, so I didn't care for the new album. Some of my friends usually like Taylor's albums. They didn't care for this. Yeah, because we're in the age of Aquarius. Everything is being revealed. People are waking up. People are waking up and being like, what is this? Audrey L said, Josh and Andrea would have chosen Johnny, so they should have just thrown the ball, but wish Johnny had taken Zay and loosened this plan in the finale so they could have been eliminated. They should have, listen, I would have counted up to 50, and then I would have started throwing that ball. Ice Macchiato said, I'm a fed on furlough now due to the shutdown, so I'm using this time to build. Yeah, that's what. Listen, be self-sufficient, build your community, invest in your community, and lock it down, because it's going to get real bad before it gets good. Start growing stuff. Listen, I'm trying to become a plant mom again because I'm trying to figure out how to grow these herbs. I'm trying to get a tomato plant. Listen. I got a little rooftop. I'm going to make me a little garden. We got to do what we got to do. Audrey said all the finalists should have gotten a chance to play the finale. Hate that Lucinda got to the final. Yeah. When I'm telling you, when she said genetics, I said she got it. Dreadful said if someone had told me 6 years ago that Trump and Biden will both still be alive, I never have believed it. Time's ticking on a lot of these. Yeah. Absolutely. There needs to be a retirement age for politicians. Audrey said they really fumbled the season with the live votes and not pre-recording it last season, but please don't give up on the main show. Listen, I like the main show, but the torture that them sisters went through this season, I could not in good conscience go back to that. These shows need to be fun, guys. That wasn't a fun watch for any of us. That was a hard show to watch. Seeing them go through all that torture for nothing just because they were Black. I couldn't. I can't go back to that. Wavy said, "Hey, Star Family, Nikki, are we still going to have the Wednesday live?" Yes, we are. I will know for sure come Tuesday. Shay said, "I agree, Nikki. I think he knows he won't make it the full 4 years." Yeah, trying to change everything. Trying to change everything. That's why I was just like, for people who don't even who don't like Kamala for whatever reason, I was just like, the Supreme Court is on the line, guys. Like, that's a really important. Like, a lot of people do not know what the Supreme Court is and what their job is. Now you know. Now you know, because the wrong Supreme Court can give you a dictator. What's his purpose? Said a Black man told me he did not care where his money went after telling him to support a Black business. Some just don't care. And listen, you got to leave them behind. You know, sad to say, Harriet Tubman left a lot of our people on plantations because they told her not to come back. They said, we're fine here. We're fine in this. Listen, there are some people who do not want to be free. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. You keep running. Indigo Girl said, book clubs, board game nights, and birding club for me. Birding helped me keep my sanity. Yeah. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. I'm decorating pumpkins and coming on YouTube. That's about it. Shay said, "Oh, Alandria will never be repeated." You see how everybody wants to question the validity of her and Nick. Yeah, that was different. That I don't think that's going to happen ever again, to be honest with you. Audrey L said, Justine got in, but hate that she fell for Ty. Glad Justine got in, but hate that she fell for Ty. Still watching the show. Alexis said, Andrina was asking in her Instagram yesterday what type of content the viewers want from her. How is she asking that? Does she not have management? I don't think she does. I don't think she does. Oh, he is? That's right, Ty. Do it. Get into it. Audrey said, I wish we got the cinema of eliminated cast voting for a couple of just everyone playing the finale. They just ruined and fumbled the season big time, not having them in there. I agree with that. Dreadful said, Andrea making the mistake of trying to talk strategy after Josh had counted. So, yeah. They just had a terrible strategy. Oh, great. I love that. Give Me Shelter said, I don't want to support these shows when I see that aren't even behind. Yeah. It's just obvious at this point. It's like, if you don't see it, you don't want to see it. Absolutely. They are going to give us a dictator. They're already protecting him like he is one. Macchiato said, Nikki, you are way more informed than most when it comes to the government. Guys, I honestly think that's just because I'm from Philly. Like, we learn so much about just America, and I don't know, it's just in the schooling. And I realized that is just a Philadelphia thing. Shay said, it really wasn't fun. The Mean Girl allegations just because Owen and Shelley weren't mammies. The three of the finalists, including the winner, breaking up before the reunion. Yeah, it's not fun. I watch reality TV because I like to have a good time. It's escapism TV. It's fun. I can come here and be like, oh my God, did you see this? I don't want to come up here and be like, they're posting George Floyd memes of Alandria because she's dark skinned. That's not fun. That's not fun. And I can't give them that anymore. I'm good on them. I am good on Love Island. Listen, guys, there is more for us to talk about than them. Oh, thank you. What's his purpose? I like being here. It gives me some kind of sanity. Betty said, yes, Nikki. It's just like there's a bit of a nation for politicians at all levels. There needs to be a max age, especially for press and Congress. Median age being 75 is diabolical. Dinos running the country, they won't live to see. Absolutely. It should be the same retirement age as everything else. Like, no. Dianne Feinstein. She can't hear nothing. Is Dianne Feinstein still with us?
Nikki.
I remember the last vote she was at. Huh? What'd he say? I couldn't hear. I'm like, she can't hear. She can't hear. She can't see. Why is she making decisions for me? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. BY says, I don't know how Taylor can be engaged to a conservative like Travis Kelce. He is conservative and she is a Democrat. Sorry, I don't believe this. Guys, she's a conservative as well. Y'all believe that a white woman from Pennsylvania was a Democrat? Nobody in Philly believed that. She's a conservative. That stunt she pulled with the cat lady stuff, that's for her fan base. Because mediocre liberal women love her. Now that the mediocre liberal women are dragging that album, you'll see her with the Make America Great hat on at some point.
Ooh.
Now that she don't need to act like she's for you anymore.
Ooh.
Taylor Swift.
I don't think so.
You don't think she's a conservative? She doesn't know who I'm talking about. I promise you.
Taylor Swift?
You don't know who I'm talking about, Mom.
Who are you talking about?
Who you think I'm talking about is not who you're talking about. You thinking about a different white woman. Justine said, I would be so interested to know Nikki's thoughts on Peacemaker. I see everybody. Oh, one better after another. Let me do that one too. Everybody's asking me to do that show. How many episodes? My friend saw this and said that One Better After Another was amazing. Just John said, I haven't seen much of Shelley and Ola together. I hope that doesn't mean their relationship is done. Hope they are still. I think they're together. I think just like Nick and Alandria, they're pulling back from the public so that they can be friends in peace. And I think that's smart.
Girl,
Audrey
they
said,
can't control it now. It's getting too much. They can't control it.
But I think the decisions that they're making to keep that out of the spotlight is smart. Audrey says,
this weekend they ain't do too good.
And that's why, for people like my mom, that's why I'm glad they kept it out of they keep their relationship out of the spotlight. So people like my mom who follow the Jasmine brand.
I don't follow the Jasmine brand.
Anymore. Audrey said, agree with everyone at After Sun saying that they wish Sydney and Justine could team up and win. And Justine saying to Garvey, I hate it for us that she left, but she can't wait to hang out. Oh. Betty said it, no more lifetime appointments for SCOTUS. Absolutely not. That should not be a lifetime position. It should have term limits. We need term limits ASAP because they're compromising for progress to the country. Many stuck in the past won't go back to days when only the good old boys club. Here's the thing. Not only do they need term limits, I'm so radical, I don't think we need a Supreme Court. For what? I have always been abolish the police. I was going to say Supreme Court, but it's on my mind. Abolish the police. Abolish the Supreme Court. Abolish the Electoral College. We don't need it. I'm telling you, I thoroughly in my heart believe that America is more liberal than we vote, than how we vote. I do not think that if the Electoral College was non-existent and if the Supreme Court was non-existent, I do not think we would ever have a conservative president. I don't think they have the votes. And without the electoral, with the Electoral College, they can win. Without it, they will lose every time. I do not believe that man in office won this election. And I do not believe that the majority of Americans would vote conservative. I think the majority of Americans might not have liberal ways of thinking, but I think when it comes to voting as a nation, I think America is more liberal than not. But we got that stupid Electoral College where it does not make any sense. Because if there was not an Electoral College, California would be running them elections. California alone in New York would eat them elections up. Those votes alone. And I think that's how it should go. But it is what it is. This is where we're at. Because he's been dead for like 5 years. He is absolutely Weekend at Bernie's. That man is not alive. He is not alive. Dreadful said, hearing is one thing. It's a dimension on display that everyone. Child. Oh, see, Mom, Diane been dead.
I know she died, and you know she died.
I don't, Mom, but for me, she died a long time ago.
No, don't do that to her. We remember when she died.
She should have retired. She couldn't hear her sing.
So what?
Making decisions for me? Absolutely not.
You used to love Diane.
Before she decided not to retire? Messing up for everybody else.
What he said?
Huh? I couldn't hear him. Why are you voting if you can't hear? No shade.
Don't do that.
BY said, glad you told me. Oh, I never believed it. I was just like, ain't no white woman from Pennsylvania a Democrat. Pennsylvania has the highest concentrations of hate groups in America.
Yeah, we don't.
They beat Texas.
No, we don't.
Yes, they did. Mom, please. I know what I'm talking about.
We'll talk about what thing.
You claim Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
What is going on in my home? We're Philadelphians. We never claimed Pennsylvania. What are you talking about?
One.
We're from Philadelphia, Philadelphia. We never claimed Pennsylvania. What are you doing? Okay. She's going through a Dianne Feinstein right now, so I'll let it be. Oh, him was good too. So I've heard. Let me write that on the list. I heard that was good too. These are all going to be my movies for spooky season. Also, guys, I'm doing a spooky season. My spooky season reviews are starting this week, and my spooky season recommendations are starting this week as well. Well, see, this is the thing. I never really identified with that. I'm just Black. Like, my politics are Black American. My politics are not liberal. My politics are not Democratic. They're Black American. We far supersede both parties. Oh, yeah. That's why they have to gerrymander. And that's why, listen, Newsom is not my fave, but I like the fact that he said, well, I'm a gerrymander back. How about that? That's right. Let's go. Cindy said, I'm so sick of them using God to spread their diabolical agenda. Absolutely. They're the most demonic people on earth. Audrey said, love Serena voting for Justine. They really are that girl. Sydney saying, mega dueling her ex is a bucket list. Great response. She's kind of funny when she's not crying. Yeah, she is. Gibby Shelter said, 100, Nikki. That list must be a who's who, because all these games slaps of intense desperation. Absolutely. BY said, I also agree with you, Nikki. The election was rigged and stolen. Absolutely. It's going to come out as soon as they start fighting. Oh, all of them Waynes are tall. Even the sisters. Betty said, oh, I agree with abolishing all of those things, especially the electoral college. Most countries go by popular vote. Pre-2024, GOP lost the popular vote last 8 out of 10 elections. Bush was the last one. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I knew. He rigged that vote when I saw that popular vote. Ain't no way. You are not Obama. Ain't no way. Shay said, listening to Taylor, I believe she was a liberal Democratic, but Taylor is a huge pick-me. She'll definitely follow Travis. She'll be in a MAGA hat soon. See, this is what we have to stop, right? Because you're making her a child and saying, oh, she's just going to do what the man told her to do. No. She's the billionaire in that relationship. She has a greater pull. He's a popular football star. He's not a billionaire. He will never be. She has the greater pull. She is running that. So we are not going to make her poor decisions him. He's not running that relationship at all. If anybody's running that relationship, it's his mama. He is not the head of that. She is the head of that relationship. So we're not going to make her the victim. Every decision that she makes is because she wants to make that decision. Neither one of them are with who they really want to be. If she had her way, she would be with that white supremacist. But the fan base was so outraged that she chose to be with somebody like that she made that woman dump that man that she really wanted to be with. That's who she wants. Healy, I think his name is Matt Healy or something. That's what she really wants to be with. That's her type. Her type ain't no football player with a terrible black scent. She don't want him. But it works for the image. That's why being this Democrat works for the image. Y'all not gonna tell me, a black Philadelphian, that a white woman from Pennsylvania is a Democrat. Nobody in Philly will believe you. Give me shots said it's true. PA does have the highest white supremacist group, followed by Ohio. Last I checked, yeah. Pennsylvania is a sundown town. A sundown state, child. Justine said they made a stop. That was a major no for me. Who went there? Effie said if New York controlled the elections, U.S., Massachusetts, and those are, first of all, the reason even why we have an electoral college is because these cities have the liberal cities had the highest population of Americans. Those liberal cities will be bulldozing all of them elections. You can't bulldoze an election with an electoral college. It will always give the favor to the red states. Josie said Mitch needs a babysitter to feed him words or make him a quick exit when he can't manage that. It's what he deserves. Child, that man is dead, y'all. He dead. Be Wise said the low rating for him is because the audience didn't understand the movie. I can't wait to see it, child. Oh, really? Now, me and Cameron, we are spooky season people. Now, Cameron didn't like it. I'm concerned. Audrey said, how could they fumble not using the cats? Yeah. I don't know why they didn't do that. That would have been so much better. That would have been a gaggery. Springtime said apparently 3 of her exes are dating or married to black women. I'm not sure there's something to making him into what she wants. Yeah, that's why the whole album is about that sister that she knows he likes. So this is the thing. She's not his type and he's not her type. Couples like that happen all the time because it's a relationship. What do we call it in the industry? It's an industry relationship. It happens all the time. A lot of your favorite couples are industry relationships. It happens all the time. Dare I say, Lavender, and it's not the Lavender who you think. But anyway, she knows. He knows. But it's good for business. That happens all the time in the entertainment industry. That happens all of the time with the wealthy. That's why they are okay with cheating, because they marry who will get them the prosperity that they need. And they will cheat with who they really want. If they do get married, trust and believe it won't be long, guys. She'll write a whole song about him. It'll be, I fell in love with a wigger. It'll be all kinds of nonsense. He'll be back with a buzz cut and a black baby mom. Please, the world is burning. Let's not focus on them people and that sham of a relationship. Sarah said that is an extremely calculated 35-year-old billionaire. Thank you. She got the money. Pennsylvania. Not like I remember when she first came out. I was just like, she's not country. She's from Pennsylvania. What are we talking about? But listen, the whites ate it up. Good for them. That's their community, and that's what they want. I don't care. See, that's a good thing about being Black American. We don't care. We don't feel intimidated by anybody. We don't care what you do. Just as long as you leave us alone, we're fine. That's not the case for everybody else. Hannah said TS is still singing and writing songs that she's still a teenager while being 35. Always, yeah. Anytime there is, like, especially a woman like making herself a child, how do you think she vote politically? Come on, guys. You're smarter than that. Eva Empathy said that's why he's trying to take out absolutely. That's the only way he can win. Cindy said, I don't even believe my state of Texas would have a majority of Republicans in office if it weren't. Absolutely. I will never forget this young lady did TikTok. It was right after Uvalde. And she was just like, a lot of people are, saying that we deserve this because of how we vote. And she was like, I want to make it very clear to you. We are not a red state. We are an oppressed state. And that just like, that video just opened up so much to me because I wasn't the person who would be like, oh, they deserved it because it's a red state. But I was somebody who was just like, well, this is what Texas wants. So I can't, like, I want to fight for them to be better. But if they don't want to be better, like, I'm wasting my time. But like to hear somebody say, this is not what we want. We're oppressed. Like they are oppressing us. They are stealing and cheating. This is happening here. This is not what we are voting for. Our votes aren't getting counted. Our votes are getting thrown out. The votes that matter are getting gerrymandered. So there is, I just didn't know that. I did not know that what is actually happening. Absolutely. They're rich. They're all going to vote one way. Audrey said, I wish it was between Ty and Toby. It's a shame we never got to see them duel. It's a shame we didn't get to see them duel against each other. Betty said Swiffer Jet having a song saying that she likes her friends canceled says it all. Her feminist mask has slipped. And this is the thing, guys. Y'all also have to realize that awful people are now feeling very safe now. So they can be whoever they want to be and nothing can be done because they feel like they have the power to get rid of whoever opposes them. So you're going to see a lot of people that you like, a lot of people that you thought like you and thought really liked you and loved you being a part of their audience and supporters. You're going to see a lot of those take off the mask because they feel safe. Remember this. Remember this. Cameron said, now, if you want to go see a spooky movie, go see The Conjuring. Oh, I wanted to see that in the movies. But all my friends that I would see that with was not in town. And now I don't even think it's in the theaters anymore. It's such a foolish way of thinking. Why do you idolize people that are stealing from you? Kimmy Shelton said he plays for Kansas City. I feel like his agent suggested this. But this is the thing. That happens all the time, guys. A lot of these relationships are not real. It's just good for PR. Springtime said ever since they started dating, they started offering VIP booths. Yeah. I remember that. And we were all like, no. She's from very white, very red Pennsylvania. Hannah said, I blame Kanye for making her more famous than she was supposed to be. His snatching her mic sure did. That also started the competition between her and Beyonce. Kanye did that. He's responsible for everything. BY said, Him is not a scary movie. It's a movie about the grit of football. It has specific symbolism. I also believe it was edited poorly. Absolutely. And unfortunately, it has to happen. So those people can finally fight back. Y'all gotta come together and y'all have to fight back. BY said any athlete who is faced with the possibility of a career-ending injury understands. Yeah. Audrey said, wow, they really didn't turn on Zay. That's impressive. Proud of the alliance for that regard. I hope Justine comes back to host. Me too. She deserves. Justin Bieber said, I'm tossing up on seeing. Listen, I'm going to see Black Phone too because the Black Phone was really good. I want to say this. Black Phone was scary a bit, but it was such a sad film. It was not what you think. It was so sad. But I think this one might be scarier. Sarah said, the real crazy part is the streamer grifters are feeling the loss because they went crazy. Oh yeah, they're all backtracking now. Yeah, they're all backtracking now because this is about, let me tell you something. When that man does Project 2025, he just confirmed that Project 2025 is real. When that man does what they plan on doing in Palestine, everybody who openly supported this man better run for the hills. And so all of these podcasters and streamers and everybody that supported him is now trying to backtrack and distance themselves because they know it's going to get worse and they don't want to be responsible. Hold this at their feet. I don't care if you didn't know this is what he would do. You put your millions of subscribers and followers, you put all of that behind that demon. You are responsible. You're not getting out of this. You're not getting out of this. Oh, he was on there. I thought I didn't watch it, but I saw a clip of him on his Instagram. I thought he did good. But here's the thing, Black women, y'all could be mad at those giggle boys all you want to. You made them. They are very popular. Black American women made them. And that's what y'all do, Black American women. You build empires for people who do not like you. And when they get to a position of power where they feel like they no longer need you, they spit on you because they never wanted you in the first place, but they used you because you gave them your power and your influence. You can't get mad at them for using you when you allowed yourself to do that. Y'all, Black women constantly build empires for people who hate them. It's our greatest flaw. Our greatest flaw. We mammy everybody. All for that baby to get grown and turn around and look at us and say, F you. But it's our fault. Hannah said, I'm also scared the way DDG and Kai Cenat alongside other streamers are pushed on kids. They are highly problematic and predatory. Absolutely. But the responsibility is going to be on the parents. You have to be responsible. You are responsible for what your children are consuming. DDG and Kai Cenat are not your child's babysitters. You need to know what they're watching. Yes, I cried. I was boo-hooing. I was like, I thought this was scary. Josie said Kanye should have set and let TS be forgotten by her mediocrity. Listen, one thing Kanye West will do is make a white woman a billionaire. E. for Empathy said those main kids acted so well in the Black. Yeah, that was good. That was good. GP313, thank you for the super chat. GP313 said Toby and that jumbo bonnet. What? Thank you for bringing that out. Why does he have such a big bonnet and not a do-rag? Them baby curls. Indigo Girl said everyone who supported this man is too late. Yep, it's too late. It's too late. I told you, I know one person that supported him. I cut that person off immediately, never to come back. That person is cut out of my life forever. Absolutely not. I don't care if you didn't know what was on the line. You're a grown adult. You needed to know. It was that bad. Now, every person that dies in Palestine is on you. Every Black man that loses his life to this administration and those voters, it is on you. Every unemployed Black woman is on you. Every Latino family that is destroyed by this administration, it is on you. Every American that has lost their job, every American that is losing their housing, every American that is losing their only source of food, it is on you. You shall not be redeemed. You voted for this. You hold this mantle. You are not backing out of this. Cindy said this whole administration belongs in prison. Absolutely. Along with ICE. Absolutely. And to that brother that is going viral, that brother with the locks that's going viral, because you work with ICE and now you beating people up. Everything that comes to you, you deserve it. You deserve it. And you better not be a Black immigrant doing this. You better not be a Black immigrant doing that mess. Springtime said, I agree with Candace Owen and Nick Fuentes recently. The grift tide was shifting. I don't care. I'll never agree with those people. I don't care. Even if they say something that I believe is right, they're responsible as well. Wavy said they knew, they just didn't think they would be personally affected. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sinners is by far the best. Nothing is touching that. Nothing is touching that. What's his purpose said? Hannah Violet, he makes racism seem funny and cool. Or we might be talking about Kai. Dreadful said gaming and fitness are the main ways they indoctrinate. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Birds of a feather. BY said this year, I love yeah. I hope it wins. Justina said, here we're supposed to have a social media ban come into law December 10th this year. No one under 16. Imagine people lost their 16 audience. Yeah, a lot of careers would be over because it's just children. And they know that. Mel, thank you for the super chat. Mel said exactly. No sympathy for those voters. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, a broken clock. Yeah. I get the whole broken clock thing with Candace Owens, but the ancestors will remember her. You're a Black woman. You're a Haitian woman. How dare you? How dare you? Pure evil. The ancestors will remember her. Lavender Girl said the children with cancer getting denied treatment and cuts in the because they cut cancer. That like this is the thing. You can't come back from this. He cut cancer research. They are evil people, and you voted for this. You will not be redeemed. Ra said, and nobody can convince me that he says he sounds like oh, Lord. What I loved it. That's actually my first review. That's actually my first review. I absolutely loved Weapons, and it is such an on-time film for what's happening today. Dreadful says, seriously, Owens Influence has said something that plenty of people who aren't monsters also said. No reason to ever platform. Yep. Give me shelter said, my rule of thumb, I will give credit to people that have constant good points, tired of a broken clock saying, I don't, even now, I'm trying not to speak their names. I don't want to give them any power. I don't want to give them power. Yep. Springtime said they use their platform for hate. Yep. Oh, yeah, it's good. That's going to be my first review. I'm going to try to get it up for you Wednesday afternoon. Eva Ripley said, thank you all for remembering to thumbs up the video. Thumbs up the video. And guys, remember I said this live is going to be an hour. We're going on 3 hours. I'm getting off of here. Justina said, someone mentioned weapons in the subtext of children having to grow up fast, which I didn't clock myself. What I didn't clock myself the first time. Great movie. Absolutely. And it also talks about how parents are very unaware, but there are people controlling your children who you do not, you are very unaware, because all the adults were very unaware of what was happening to their children. You gotta stay on top of it. Clock in with those babies. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me because we are coming on 3 hours. I can't believe it. I was like, I'm just gonna be here for an hour. I'm so angry. Well, this is why we're going to have a just chatting, because this is needed. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for joining me. Sorry this season ended so terribly. I wish we would have had a better ending, but it is what it is. Glad that Love Island is over, and so is my Love Island reviewing career. I hated to end it on this season. I wish I could have ended it on something better, but you know, all good things must come to an end, but there will be other shows that we will review and that we can connect on. Keep on recommending them to me. I have not seen Adolescence. Is it good? Should I? Let me know. Let me know. Thank you, Ice Macchiato. But send the suggestions. Let me know what you want. Adolescence is one of them. I'll look into that. Oh yeah, they know it's all coming to an end. Especially since he said that Project 2025 is real. The stuff that's in that project plan is more demonic and evil than what we have already experienced from them. And now everybody wants to backtrack. No, you are responsible. You are not getting out of this. Oh, Lord. Biggest grifter and a cheat and a scam. Cheat and a scam. Anyway, so keep on giving me suggestions, and I will absolutely take them into consideration and see what fits for the Star family. But recommend me some game shows to watch, and recommend me some reality TV shows, especially some love reality TV shows, since I am wrapping up my Love Island review career. Thank you all for sticking with me, and I will see you soon for something else. Bye. 3 hours, guys. I was only supposed to be here for an hour. Oh well. Love y'all. Bye.